Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, coming off a bit of a lackluster showing yesterday. We did get more details and a little bit more information regarding President Joe Biden's $2 trillion proposed stimulus spending package. Yesterday, we did see the NASDAQ leading the way, which was nice to see over the past couple of weeks. It's been those reopen plays. It's been the cyclical type names leading the way, but we saw big gains from most of the big name tech-heavy names yesterday. Overall, the NASDAQ up 1.5% at the end of the session and was able to manage to claw its way back to a 0.4% gain for the month. So that was good to see. The S&P, meanwhile, ending the month up 4.2%, so positive for the overall market as well. Helping the NASDAQ was a big pop in Microsoft shares late in the day, 2+%. In fact, the company unveiled a $21 billion contract from the U.S. Army. We'll talk about that coming up. Micron shares, meanwhile, up significantly in the pre-market here following earnings, and we'll talk about QuantumScape closing another investment from Volkswagen. It is Thursday, April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at North American futures at this point. As I mentioned, nicely higher here right across the board. 1 full percent to the upside for the NASDAQ once again. The S&P 0.4%, the Dow little changed at this point. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a gain. Brazil's open up already. We have Bitcoin slightly lower this morning, both crude and gold in positive territory. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday, but it feels like a Friday. It's April Fool's Day. We have long holiday weekend to get to. We sadly will not be here tomorrow as the Easter holiday weekend gets a nice start. We get an extra day, which is nice. We're back on Monday next week.
That is absolutely right. So, of course, happy Easter to everybody. Enjoy it while you can. I kind of want to say there was a story this morning, Endeavor, adding Elon Musk to their board. And then there was a comment saying, oh, it's not an April Fool's joke that we're adding to the board. I'm like, if you have to make an announcement and then have to say that it's not an April Fool's joke, and what does that even say about it? He's a busy man. He is a happy man. And the reason I like to say that is because the last couple of days, you've seen the EV space move to the upside. Tesla's up another 3%. You've seen what NIO has done. They got delivery numbers. We're going to be talking all about that. And it's a fantastic way to both end the week and start the new quarter with that rally that we've seen in the last couple of days, especially with the NASDAQ pushing where it is. I have some concern when I looked at Tesla on the chart that you could have that 700 level looming, and you might give a little bit back here just because of how good the run has been. So that is definitely going to be on watch. We're not going to get too far away from some earnings plays that are in there as well. And of course, that Microsoft news having some ramifications because MBIS is up on that news as well. And I didn't wear any of my gear because we're actually celebrating opening day tomorrow because the games are at 1 today in my household. But Sean, you got the socks?
Yeah, I got the socks on. We can show them after. I'll show the socks after. Blue Jays baseball, and welcome back MLB. I already see the Washington Nationals have 4 players in COVID protocol. Let's hope that we can get through a season here. And our Blue Jays will be playing in Dunedin, I guess, for the beginning, like the Raptors in Tampa, and then hopefully coming back here. But no, it's not a joke. The markets are closed tomorrow, guys. That's real. And if the markets are closed, we're not going to be here. So we will be back on Monday, which will be very exciting, obviously, with a nice little rally in this market today. Hopefully continues. We see the NASDAQ up a whopping 1.16 again today after that move that Brendan just talked about yesterday, 2+%. So look, we're super excited. A lot of the stocks moving. We had Palantir touching 24. We called 23 yesterday. It broke that and just kept on ripping. That was a fantastic trade for us. We're loving some Mr. Softy every day. Fisker's up today. Palantir's up again. NIO's touching 41.30 right now at the day's high as we go. So we're very, very excited. My boy QuantumScape also back to $52 soon. Well, it is there now. Up 16% today. So we're really, really excited about what's happening with a lot of these names. So let's get the show started here. on a Thursday.
Yeah, another 100 million coming QuantumScape's way from Volkswagen's pocketbook. Let's have a look at initial jobless claims here. It's Thursday, right? So initial jobless claims, 719,000, a little bit higher than expected, 680,000 for last week. In the U.S., it's worth noting, even with the holiday tomorrow, we're going to get March employment numbers tomorrow morning still. They're still going to go ahead and release that even with the market close. So heads up on that. We'll talk about that coming up on Monday. Before we go anywhere else, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, everyone. Guys, I wish us a productive and profitable day. Enjoy the show. And as usual, I'll remind you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yep, let's get it started, guys. Help us out. Help us out. We're ever so close to 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, take a second. And as Miss V said, hit the like first, then go right beside it and subscribe to this channel. I want to have a quick chat here, guys, on the rules of engagement for April Fool's Day, because it is April 1st. We learned, I think it was Monday or Tuesday this week, Volkswagen, first off. So there's, I don't know what the deal is with this, start a rumor 2 days before April Fool's Day and then use April Fool's Day as the actual reveal for your April Fool's joke. So they came out, I think it was Tuesday, and they said they're changing their US name to Volts, V-O-L-T-S, Wagon. Well, they've come out today and said, ha ha ha, April Fool's Day.
I mean, it was dumb, and I think everyone was kind of like, what?
It was leaked, right?
Yeah, but that makes no sense. You're supposed to pull April Fool's pranks on April Fool's. Clearly, they don't get it. I don't know what it is.
No, they get it. It was leaked.
I mean, whatever.
It was leaked.
You're gonna play it. You got to make sure you keep that one on the wrap.
They got to keep their cards.
You got to run a tight ship around there. I don't know.
Yeah, but I thought it was actually. Look, I know it's an April Fool's joke, but I don't think they need to change their name to Volkswagen, but I think it's kind of cool that they were going for the electric look, but I would not change, obviously, a storied name of Volkswagen. But I think it'd be kind of cool if they sort of did that as like a little side gig for the US side or the North American side, like they were saying. But yeah, look, I don't know. In today's day of social media, this is what I mean, just like in today's day of social media and the way that things get out there so easily. Like, you can't make a trade in sports without someone knowing about it. You can't draft a player and announce it before everybody already knows what you're doing. So I think this is very similar to stocks. But Volkswagen's been on a huge run lately. So has a lot of these electric vehicles. I mean, they should all put some sort of a Volt in their names, like GM. Well, they actually have a car called the Volt, I think. GM, Ford, all this, Fisker. I had something, actually, it's kind of funny because my poll today is about which recent EV name has the most future. And right now, actually, let's do a check-in on this right now as we're having some fun here on a Thursday/Friday. Okay, so what we did today was which recent, this is the thing, right? Like, I didn't put NIO on here. I didn't put any of the Chinese names. And obviously, I didn't put Tesla on here. Which recent EV company is the best long-term investment? Right now, let me see if I can get a refresh on this. Right now, 300 votes. So it's Fisker that's crushing it. I tweeted out the other day that I bought Fisker at 17 on that down move, and then Workhorse chilling out. Lordstown and Nikola. No surprise, Neil, that Nikola is at the bottom of this one. What would you vote?
Who actually voted for Nikola?
Well, 11% out of 300, so we got.
Sorry, my program
30
monitors
people
are really
somewhere.
tiny, so it wouldn't be for Nikola. I gotta go with Fisker. I think a write-in vote for something like an EV Go, like one of the charging names, like would actually make the most sense.
Yeah.
But that's actually
these are makers.
That's cheating because makers.
Yeah. So some people on here, XPEV, where's NIO? But we talked about this. Where's Tesla? Stuff like that. Someone said something. Oh, Lucid Motors is here, and then Churchill was another one that I was debating on here. It is CCIV. So there was a few different debates there, but I'll put that link in the chat here, and let's revisit those numbers, although I think Fisker will win. But let's see if Nikola gets above 11%. Brendan, don't want to leave you in the dark. Where's your vote?
Like that one person said yuck to all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't like any of those. Volkswagen, first of all, will be. But out of those, I mean, it's hard to avoid Fisker. I think Nikola is a joke in general, right across the board. But
I was on camera for that.
I want to talk about Volkswagen here for a second, guys, because I mean, this QS news just proves the fact that they're going completely all in on the EV space. This is the second round of $100 million they've shipped over to QuantumScape. QS came out last night, said they've met all the expectations on the manufacturing side. So Volkswagen liking these solid state batteries.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, 100 million, 200 million, it's kind of small pickings for a company like Volkswagen, but it does obviously mean a lot to QuantumScape. And I mean, that's why I'm in the name. I just think it's a revolutionary idea with the cells and the batteries and how they can stack them and get them super small. It's going to solve a lot of the charging issues in the short term for those, whoever can put those batteries in their car, and the deal with Volkswagen. I think QuantumScape eventually has the buyout on it because of the investment that Volkswagen's already made. If the technology takes off, we know Volkswagen's trying it. Look at Volkswagen's chart here, just to give you guys, this is VWAGY on the pink sheet. So we can also look at VOW3 if you're trading on DAX, the German exchange. But it was basically, I don't want to say left for dead, but I mean, it wasn't doing anything here for pretty much all of 2020. You go, this is February. It dipped down to $10 in March, which is unbelievable, but we don't need to talk about those lows. There's lots of companies. Volkswagen doing absolutely nothing, Brendan, and then bang, just takes off lately, goes up to $48, and now it's getting into this range. So this looks like a parabolic move here from 30 to 48. We were talking about it these days, and then nowadays it's like 4 or 5% up and down all the time. So we don't have a quote for it this morning, but it looks like it's going to be 36. So it's going to open up just about flat. But Neil, that's the chart for Volkswagen, and we know we get a big bump right now from NIO today, and the last week obviously has been huge for some of these companies, and not that this looks like Tesla at all, but Volkswagen is stepping up its game similar to GM and Ford.
Plus, too, Germany closed they get Friday and Monday, right? So like they know how to do it, I guess, to have fun. But we like to trade around here. I wanted to say CLII because I just want to see how many times I can bungle climate change crisis real impact one acquisition corporation, and there should be a rule about SPACs. It should be easy to say. It's a little bit ridiculous, but they're taking a GoEV. Bit of a different model from ChargePoint when we're talking infrastructure, because ChargePoint's more of like they sell you the business kind of thing, and then usually they charge you a monthly subscription fee. Whereas they have these guys are ownership in terms of building out that infrastructure for charging. Basically almost left for dead because you get that $10 with all these things open up, more than a double up, makes a double bottom here, and then now all of a sudden we get this infrastructure bill, the $2 trillion coming through, and EV charging is going to be part of that. And then you're right back into what is sort of a key level here, and just I'm going to call it CLII because I don't want to bungle that name too much. But you see this 15 area for a break. I see Tesla at that around that 700. There's a few of these names in the space that kind of are at these levels where you would expect either some consolidation or a bit of a turnaround. So I wouldn't be too surprised if there are a few that pull back, but it's going to be hard to ignore some of the breakout opportunities. And there's going to be a lot to watch today. Just to let you guys know, I have Fubo, which is on the list, on a bit of a 2350 breakout there. And if you see ACY, they literally filed bankrupt protection a couple of days ago and are up today, which is reason enough to short them.
Yeah, speaking of baseball, Fubo going to have some Chicago Cubs baseball on their platform this year.
How'd you buy it?
It's Thursday, guys. That means Luis Barbado is joining us from Barcelona, Spain, to talk a little bit about how his trading week has gone, what he's looking at coming up for today's session. I want to start things off. Good to see you, Luis. It's been a week or two. Hope you're well. It's been an interesting week, a little bit quiet heading into the long weekend. Obviously, market closed tomorrow. How's your week been? What have you been looking at? And maybe talk a little bit about, in quieter markets when there's, not the volatility, not the volume that we've been used to seeing over the past month or so, how you approach that.
Yeah, good morning for you guys. Good afternoon here in Europe. Well, it's been a quiet week, as you say. It's been pretty quiet in the small cap world. Not a lot of volume, not a lot of volatility. Today we have three symbols, okay? We have three symbols to look at. It's FTFT, it's moving up 25%. SNOA, SNOA, and UPC, both of them moving 30% up. So these are the three tickers we're going to look today more intense. Yeah, you're right. When you have quieter markets and lower volatility, you have to adapt to this new market, right? So don't play too big. It's very important to select what moments of the day you are trading and what moments are you avoiding. Okay, so usually, you know, we are scalpers, we trade a lot and fast. But nowadays, for the last couple of weeks, I would say, you have to really be aware of what moment of the day you are in. So avoid over trading in moments where you don't have volatility or volume.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's interesting you say that. We've seen, you know, typically the past couple of days, there's been more of a choppy start to the session, but then, you know, stocks will kind of find a direction and kind of go in that direction. So, you know, we have to adjust and maybe take a little bit of a break right at the open, let things figure out what they want to do, and then move with them. Let's talk about that UPC. We saw the stock pop up one day last week, had a huge move to the upside. We're seeing volume again this morning. This is a little teeny tiny Chinese pharmaceutical company. Again, no real significant news on this group today, but there are one or two that are moving.
Yeah, it's actually moving 30%, as we said before, 31%. We have important levels last days, okay? So it moved to 26 one day last week, I think it was, pre-market. So we have a lot of volume there. We have some levels at $6 and then $10, the next resistance. So it's going to be very active today. No news, you're right, no big news about it. It touched 590 and now it's consolidating 520. We have a moving average at around $5. So we might see retracement there to the 89 moving average, exponential moving average, and maybe, and let's hope it pushes to high again, $6. Over $6, we have nice move to $8 and $10. So we really hope it holds around this 520, 510 area.
Louis, coming out of quarter end, we had yesterday, obviously, the end of the first quarter, first trading day of Q2 set to kick off here in about 40 minutes or so. Do you adjust your trading at all when it comes to both the end of a quarter, end of the month, and then again going into a new quarter on the first trading session?
Not really. What we are aware of it is the witching day, okay, the quarterly, the options and expirations. Of course, we are aware of these days. You know, it can move a lot. So in these expiration days, we are really aware of this movement. But we are more into small cap world, so we check what's active and what are we trading. Talking again, what we were talking about, it helps a lot to be in a team. So if you see an active pre-market and an active opening and all the traders in the trading room are making money, you become more active. But you know, we are a lot, so we aware each other like, okay, guys, slow down because there is nothing. So if you see 5, 6 guys in the trading room taking it easy, it's better for you. It's easier for you to realize that, okay, maybe it's not the time to trade now. If you're alone on your own, you don't follow Trader TV, for example, and Sean and Neil are telling you guys there is no volume, so slow down. It's more difficult to realize that, okay, I shouldn't be in this market because it's low, there's no volume, so I can get trapped very easily in a stupid movement without volume, right?
It's very easy, in fact, and you're kind of leading into my next thought here. Is there one or two maybe keys that you look for to kind of signal that, you know, maybe I'm over trading here. Maybe I need to kind of sit back and take the foot off the gas or take my hands off the keyboard for a while and just figure out, is there maybe one or two things you look for that kind of gives you that signal?
Yeah, first of all, we are all connected in a chat room. So we talk in the trading room. We are connected with the headset. So we are aware if someone is, as a manager, of course, of a trading room, we have the risk management of the trader world. So we are looking all the position that the people are taking. So we aware the people, okay, maybe you're trading too much or not. And also we have these nice statistics systems, okay, with a lot of ratios that we create for our trading floor. So we measure how many trades, how many executions every trader does, how long time is on every trade. So if we see people trading too many trades per day or holding too small time the position or too long the position, we compare with each other. So we realize, okay, if you're trading 30 seconds trades, maybe it's because you are over trading and you're not giving the time to the trade to build it up, you know. So yes, we follow a lot of ratios to see if people is over trading or are holding too long or too few time positions. And we created a new tool I think we talk about it on Twitter with Sean and Neil. We created a new tool that's very useful, okay, for the trading room. So we draw the chart with all the executions, the timing, the trade. So all these tools help us a lot to see what's going on with the trading room.
Luis Barbado, I should say, Day Trade the World floor operator over in Barcelona, Spain. A pleasure, as always, sir. Have a great trading session first and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Brendan. Same to you.
Let's jump into upgrades and downgrades, guys, for today. There are a few on here that might be worth looking at throughout the day. We're going to talk about Micron coming up here off of earnings. Some retailers making an appearance here as well. Williams-Sonoma, Levi's, apparel maker, Bloomin' Brands as well on here. Goldman Sachs, we've seen these banks leading for the past couple of weeks, I should say, but UBS cutting the price target here on Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, look, I actually kind of feel like, and there's a good part of me that says, as we get that little reversal, the last month and a half, 2 months has been all about shuffling from your tech names into your cyclical names and then back and forth. And I kind of feel like there's been a really good approach to be able to buy some things on weakness. And I feel like that's going to happen with the banks pretty soon. So I wouldn't read too much into that downgrade there. I want to talk, but Micron, on the other hand, is an interesting one because it's getting right into this like 95 range. There's been a couple of really good consolidation like longs, like one around 60. If you picked that one up last year, maybe you've already taken some profit, or around this 70 or around that 70 break. And it feels to me like in the midst of this particular rally, like getting some profit out in front of that double top at 96 is going to make some sense in Micron. I know we're going to get into this on the earnings. But there's also it just feels like you can rotate some of that money if you like the space or you love the space into some other names. We've had some new entrants that have had some moves overall. And I just want to throw out here in the chat, I want to thank you guys for UPC. Luis brought that one up, guys, and I see you guys were talking about it as well. I'm telling you, that looked really, really good. I didn't see who was talking about 575 there, but that looked really, really good on the chart. And I kind of wish I was looking at that one for the short trade at that particular moment, but that actually looks like a fantastic place, build at 550. I'd be cautious with Micron in front of that 95. It's not normally the type of name that I would want to short off of that top, but that's a good place to take some long profits off on a longer term play if you want to try to sell some of this, and then you're getting that money ready for some of the cyclicals and or maybe some of the banks that might give you a little bit of a pullback. So that's my first thought on Micron here, and I don't know why I had that gut feeling that we're going to get a bit of a pullback in some of these names today. But every chart I look at just gets right into that resistance.
Yeah, you could look at AMD, NVIDIA, a couple different things. I mean, AMD is getting some love today too, 1.6% off of a nice move yesterday. Finally breaking that 80 mark or so in the pre-market. Today, I believe it did. Anyways, yeah, there it is. It just touched 80. So yeah, a nice move from AMD yesterday. Open 76.50, closes 78.50. So a nice $2 move and then a bump from Micron. So I think the whole space today. Let's check out what is NVIDIA doing. Are they getting? I mean, they're obviously getting a bump, but let's just see how much. NVIDIA today 1 point. Okay, so the same. So Micron up that 4.5%, 5%, and then all these other names. NVIDIA. We'll check out Taiwan Semi and AMD. All going to be on watch. I've loved SMH all year. I've talked about that. That was like my pick back in January, performing quite well. Now we'll see if it can take out some of these tops. But AMD, the furthest one away from its top of 100 on a couple earnings reports ago. I just finally...
Isn't NVIDIA farthest away?
No, AMD should be. I mean, AMD's 80. It was 100. 20% down. We'll check.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I think you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
it's only like 12% off the top in NVIDIA, but yeah, I just always think it's too close.
I mean, they're one and the same. Finally, we get into some Neo breaking through the 50 level. I just said, like, I got to get into something here. So here it is now up to 68. I was literally offering, as my kids say, literally offering 68s right there. So hopefully, I don't know why we picked that, but hopefully it can get up through 66, 67, 68. We'll take a quick 15-cent win on half and then hold the rest and see where we go. Just a quick before I throw it back to you, Brendan, let's check out the imbalance locator. There it is, the big dog at the top, Neo today. That 7% to go along with whatever percent it was yesterday. It's been a monster. QS, Palantir, all the names that we like are here, guys. Right, so let's get ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, let's indeed. Let's jump right into it. Why don't we have a look at what's going on this morning? I mean, we can talk about this too. I was going to wait on this, but I guess I pushed the wrong button, guys. So we'll just jump right into this.
No, just kidding. This is real.
This is not.
This is real.
And I promise, this is not an April Fool's joke. Everyone has been asking and demanding and wanting and questioning whether or not we'll go longer with the show or maybe do another show later in the afternoon. Guys, the requests have been answered. We are, starting on Tuesday, coming back at 3:15 every single afternoon to trade the close with you. So 45 minutes until the end of the day, 3:15 to 4 p.m. How about that? Didn't mean to spill the beans on. Didn't mean to spill the beans on that one, but yeah, the 3:15 show, guys, coming on Tuesday.
It is, guys, it's a complete coincidence that we're announcing it on April Fool's. It is not an April Fool's.
It's not an April Fool's.
Like, we're not making this up. We would not do that to you guys whatsoever.
The chat agrees. The chat is liking this right now, guys.
Good.
So yeah, we're really excited. Look at this blowing up. Thank you so much. Wow. And the good thing is, guys, it's only going to cost $5.99 a month. $599 a month to watch the afternoon show. And of course, that's a joke. It will be completely free, as all of our shows are. And yes, thank you, Brendan, for dropping that. And we will be very, very excited to come trade the close with you guys. You've been asking about it. You're going to see the realest traders become even more real as we get into the close. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We're excited to show you imbalances, show you how we trade the close, and talk all about that. So welcome to the party. If you're not a member now, sign up. Let's see some super chats. Look, it's Thursday. It's Easter. We just dropped a bomb for you guys. Let's get some super chats going. We're working extra hard for you. Thank you so much for the love, and thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Valeria, and our wicked production team. Neil, everybody, we're really, really excited to do this.
At 45 minutes extra in addition to the morning show coming up on Tuesday, guys. Join us on Tuesday, please. At 3:15, and we'll walk you through. Yeah, Sean was talking. There's lots of great stuff, that we can show you, that we can demonstrate for you as far as closing imbalances. We talk about the imbalance locator in the morning all the time. There's one that comes out for the close as well, so we'll discuss that. I was going to show you the link for the website to sign up for our free morning note, but we don't have that today. So Valeria will help you out in the chat if you do need that. Make sure you sign up, guys, for our free morning note. Let's get into what is moving around in the pre-market here. We'll start things off with Micron Technologies. Really, really nice beat for Micron. 98 cents versus 95 expected. 6.21 billion expected. They posted 6.24 billion. The company also posted, a forecast that was better than expected for Q3, guys. So MU leading the way.
MU leading the way, and some deal chatter, guys. It was Micron, and well, it could also be Western Digital. Looking at a Kioxia, I don't know. I can't pronounce the name.
Neil, just quickly, I just want to acknowledge some of these guys before they leave here. Thank you so much for all the super chats and all the new members. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you so much, Tyler. Thank you again, Chris. You've been here for a while. Thank you so much for Nasty Kicks. I bet you got those nice kicks on. Red Dust, thank you so much. I can't wait to double my money. No pressure. Joey A, welcome. Thank you so much. Calvin, what up, Calvin? And then thank you so much to Omar, guys, from Sweden there. So thank you for all the new memberships. And thank you. I mean, the membership is $4 or $5 a month. But thank you so much for all of that. And thank you for the super chats from the big guys there. Who was it? Omar, thank you so much. And Calvin, thank you so much for those guys. That means a lot to us. Go ahead, Neil. Sorry about that.
No worries. Got to acknowledge that. And we absolutely love you guys. And we're happy to see that you guys are going to be loving that afternoon show. So it should be a lot of fun for us. I was trying to get to the fact it's, Micron and Western Digital potentially in talks to acquire a leading flash drive a company out of Japan. So that could be, this is not a done deal. This is just chatter, and this is a private company. Well, I can't pronounce Kioxia, Kioxia, whatever. Either way, they're a big name that tried to IPO a couple of years ago, so they're still private, and instead of going public, could be involved in a merger. So I would watch out for that. That could be a bit of a headwind for either Western Digital or Micron here, but I don't know. When I looked at this chart on Micron, I saw that double top there. I sort of said to myself, this could be a place or at least a name and where some profit taking did occur. And so I put a couple of things in there. I had like a 1970 area, and I said to myself, okay, well, if there's a rejection off of like 93, I like this like 9270 area. If there was rejection off 93, I would maybe take that going into the open or at the actual open. Now we still have a half an hour to go, so it's a little bit early for that kind of a play. If things get really hairy, I'd probably extend that to like a 9250 area as well. So I'm going to be on watch for that off the open on Micron. I don't really have any downward targets in terms of picking this one up, to be honest with you. I'd probably have to look all the way back to like 88. So it would have to get very crazy for me to be thinking dip buy is my initial reaction to Micron here. It's just, you get the earnings, they're fantastic, and using that for some big deal chatter, because it's like a $30 billion company that they'd be potentially purchasing here. So I would anticipate that maybe you could see some profit taking today. I mean, it makes sense to me in front of that 95 top.
So we'll catapult ourselves a little bit for NEO now, 30 cents in the money. We're happy with that. And then I'm not going to leave you guys. I mean, anybody that's going to super chat today, you're going to get some love. Noah, thank you so much. Outstanding news for us as well. We're super happy. Welcome. Okay, Nasty Kicks, a new member. Thank you. Jan, thank you so much as well. Omar, there it is, a new member as well. And Russell, the man, he's here. It's Vegemite toast time. What's up, Russell? You know, big fan of yours. Whoa. Thank you for all the tweets. Thank you for the support that you continue to have. And Jeremy Short, welcome. The show gets longer, not shorter. We're back, guys, at 4. Well, it'll be 3:15 to 4 o'clock. Should be an exciting one. Look at NEO right now. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to break through 41.50. I'm just going to take it just to have some fun. Blah, blah, blah. We'll see what happens. We get out where we said we would at 65, and then now it's like bang to the upside, $42. So a nice little 50-cent win to start the day off here. I'll probably just, I mean, I was debating taking this off right now, but I mean, who knows what this market's going to bring. NEO's still a big one here on the buy side, as well as QuantumScape going to be here. Micron, Neil just hit all the levels there. He talked about the news, so there's not much to do. You know, a 92.50 break is great. It's already done that. It's as high as 92.85. I think you can watch that 92.50 again. I'm trying to play it back into 90.91 just to see. Again, the NASDAQ can drop. I do think this is going to be a big NASDAQ day again. Yesterday, I had better feels when we were only up 0.6, and it was like, I really thought that, you know, we could get going, and then yesterday was a monster. We doubled, like it was 0.6. I said it's going to be a ripper of a day, and we doubled from that top, right? So up to 2% plus. So we'll wait to see what happens today, but Micron into 90 is great. And oh man, you guys are going to make my job even harder today. We've already did Omar. We've already done Russell. What's up to Jeremy? Thank you, Dan, for that $10. Continues to support us as well. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much, Marlon. I mean, a big shout out to you, Marlon. You've been here always and forever. And then Russell Jackson is back in the building. Valeria, hit a Valeria floss, because I think you don't have a bigger fan than Russell. And there it is. There it is. Thank you, Russell, for that. And there's Valeria. Valeria, give a wave. We don't want to see the back of your head. There it is. And a kiss.
Uh-oh, there it is.
Oh,
it's over.
Oh,
it's
no.
Over.
Oh, no. It's over. Slam dunk contest. Where's Vince Carter? Vince Carter's in the building right now. It's over. Thank you, Valeria, and thank you, Russell. That was pretty sweet.
If we thought things were getting exciting, Valeria, I should say, just took it up a notch. Let's talk to Arun. We have work to do, guys. Let's talk to Arun here and get a look at how the market is shaping up as we head towards the open here on a Thursday that feels like a Friday. Arun, how are we looking here?
You know, we're pretty much continuing what we were doing yesterday. Yesterday, when we came in to start the day, I was saying, oh, this might be a short zone, but at the same time, we had pretty good buy strength. That buy strength hasn't left. We did fall off yesterday towards the close, but that was kind of expected a little bit with the month ending and the quarter ending as well. We're continuing on where we left off yesterday before that fall off. So here we are taking out these 39.85 highs. I want to see how much more buying is left here. If we can stay above here, I'm going to go ahead and start looking into some longs probably in the next couple of minutes, as long as we can maintain this buy strength. So if we get that long, 39.85 long, I'm going to use 39.60 as a stop. That has to be the stop for me, because if it falls through there, I think then you get the possibility of a breakout failure, which then opens the door for potential shorts. That's a whole other scenario in itself. But what I'm looking at is if we can get 39.85, then, you know, we've been taking a slow and steady march towards 4,000. There's been hiccups along the road, but at the same time, it's been a stepwise fashion on how we keep getting closer and closer towards 4,000. So here we are again, 15 points away. Is today the day going into a long weekend when we see 4,000? There is a possibility. I mean, NASDAQ at the moment, I believe, is up 1.2%, and ES is just under 0.5% up. So there's a real possibility we do see that number today. So I'm going to go ahead and start looking for some longs at the moment.
Arun's exciting new shirt talking about fashion for a Thursday. We appreciate it as always. Arun, enjoy your long weekend.
You as well, Brennan.
Let's jump into the watch list here, guys. We'll continue along. Microsoft up next. Yeah, big news coming about mid-afternoon, I guess it was yesterday. $21 billion Army contract over 10 years. That also lifted Microvision shares to the upside. We'll talk about that coming up here. But they're going to make 120,000 of these headsets for the Army, guys, over the next 10 years.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we love Microsoft. We had that yesterday. It was an absolutely fantastic call for them and, for Microsoft shareholders, as my chart needs to load. It's not Microsoft New York. It's Microsoft.NQ. Okay, this is the big move. Hopefully we can find that yesterday for you. Here it is. Microsoft just kind of chilling out, actually doing the opposite of chilling out, tanking into the close. And then all of a sudden that news drops at 3 o'clock, and then it's just like bombs away to the upside. People are asking me, how do you take advantage of this move? And really, this is a 1 minute chart. There wasn't, I mean, because this is the thing, I dropped a tweet as soon as I could find it here. This was 3:03. The move started at about 3:01, 3:02. So we dropped it. A lot of likes, a lot of activities, and a lot of comments on this one. So I'm going to drop headlines whenever I see them, as long as we're not on the show. Brendan's doing that here. You can follow all three of us. But this move started at 01:00, something like that. Look at the move up. Normally, people say, how do you get involved in these trades? Sometimes there's a pullback, but this is really 1, 2, 3, 4, and then really the 5th minute up, was where we stopped. So I would sort of say, if you're going to trade this and you do miss that first initial move, you sort of got to stay away from it. And I didn't catch any of this. I wasn't long Microsoft. I wasn't able to punch into anything here. If you wanted something, you could have used 237. Like if you caught this move a little early on a scanner, even dollars would have been fine at 238. And then there's the stop at 239. So you sort of had to go back a little bit to sort of find where this move might stop. You do have top wicks here around 240, 241. So I don't blame anybody that got involved at the top here. But when it started fading back down, you'd had another chance to get out upside here. So 239 is the stopping spot yesterday, and I think that's a spot that we have to look at right now. Some consolidation in here, right where we're at right now, 238. So the reason why I'm calling up this chart and not looking at what we're doing right now is because this is sort of the key area. The market did fade after the market pulled back in the afternoon yesterday, so right at the close. So that makes sense why that move happened. But today we refresh it, and we're right back to these levels. So if the NASDAQ goes, Microsoft's up that 1.07%. Right now lagging behind the NASDAQ. So I love this bump here, 238, 239. Let's see if we do get a pullback, though. I'd love to long at yesterday's close, 236, 237. So with Microsoft doing this move. But right now I'm getting excited about something else right now because our friendly giant here is waking up as well. What up, Bitcoin? You are waking up. 58.6 right now. It just broke through 59, on its way to 60. Let's see if we can break 60 today. I think we can. I mean, can we get a $1,000 move in Bitcoin? Hell yeah.
Yes, we can.
And is it ready yet? Yes, we can today. So let's wait to see. I don't know if it happens. Ethereum up to 1950 as well.
Double barrel action then.
Yeah, crypto right now popping off, guys. Congratulations, anybody that's been long Bitcoin. I saw
Sean, I want to very, very quickly jump in here because you made a good point about not being able to predict the top on a move like that in Microsoft. And one of the reasons why we're going to talk about Microvision. But I want to show here when that same move happened. Remember Microsoft? There was the rumors Microvision with them a while back. So they got an even outsized move on that news, and of course, a smaller name, more thinly traded. But look at exactly where this spiked into. You get last week's top in here at 1930, and this is why we go through this process of identifying some levels for you here. So when you catch an upside like this on one of these names, No coincidence. That is exactly where the move terminated in. And I think it's not just about if you're sitting there looking for a short, but if you do catch this like a 14.50 break or 15 break, which was still fantastic, and you find yourself in that position, you're asking yourself where to take some profit, you got to look at a level like that and say, okay, well, it just gave you like 20-30% types of returns on a breakout in a matter of minutes, and here's the resistance level that then put in a lower high before a flush. Probably going to be some sellers around that price range, guys. So lots to be able to learn from here in that kind of a move. And even if you don't trade actionable news, you got to go watch it. You got to go see what levels are going to be important because that can matter later.
Let's go QuantumScape next. We mentioned the Volkswagen news. They finally met the conditions required to get that extra 100 mil from Volkswagen. They announced that aftermarket yesterday, instantly popped up 8%. We're way higher than that here this morning, guys.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've been a QuantumScape holder. You guys know that since 50, which is just coming back into play right now. So QuantumScape's been up and down and around, and we did make this play off of earnings a while back. This is the 1 minute chart now. Big move there, Volkswagen meeting their obligations. They're dumping more and more into this. So 100 million becomes 200 million investment. And we'll have to find out the market cap on QuantumScape. But I mean, right now, that's a decent investment by Volkswagen. Volkswagen's been having, a big bump up lately on the battery news. QuantumScape is in batteries. They've got the new technology. That's all they're figuring out. So I just wonder if they get taken over and they're a takeout candidate. And if they are, guys, I mean, what price? This is QuantumScape where we started 28. We already ripped up to 130, 140. Like, imagine if you're a shareholder and there's takeout chatter. This thing goes to like 80, 90, 90, 95, 100 real quick on that talk because it's already been up here. So to expect that, holders and shareholders to sell this thing anywhere in this range is insane. So again, that's sort of my theory, whether or not it comes true or not. I would never buy a stock based on the fact that you think it's going to get bought out, because really, I don't know that, I don't know that from anybody. This is not a rumor that's been confirmed. It's just a theory that I have. But if you are a long-term investor, I did not get involved here, and I should have. I should have pushed the trigger on some of these lower bids down here, 44, 45, 43, but we know we have a nice base there. We've traded it okay on the show. We've made some mistakes. We were long into these teeth, though. Now we're going to the upside. We're just crushing that 50-period moving average, so let's just see what happens with QuantumScape. This thing could fall, and if it does today, then I would look to sort of this area, like 47, 50 to 49-ish. That should be an area of concern for me because that's where the move sort of got started yesterday. Obviously, it got started at the bottom, but where we stopped was up here, and then we started up again down here. So 47, 50-ish, if we fall to there, 48, we're going to start to bid it up. But I do like a 52.50 break. That's the high of the day. Won't be max shares, but it'll be something to start with.
And one thing to think about here with your theory, Sean, is like you're talking about a space where there are no established types of premiums, right? So you can throw out things, and M&A has been heavy in the beginning of this year, and you can throw out that like 40% premiums that you've been seeing in other spaces, and forget all about that. It's completely irrelevant. I like my numbers. So I can't ignore the fact that you get this 53 bump very, very early on in trading in QuantumScape, and then you have this like 40 bottom, right? And essentially what you're doing is you get that like 25% of cover on a swing into 53. Now, the difference here is like this is now post like infrastructure, the big run up in the recovery in the EV space. You still have the ability to do two things. You can build position in and around that price on a potential break, which I think you should take half off and wait for a breakout if it goes above like a 70 or 70 along those lines. For today's action on QS, I actually really like. I always prefer buying dips if I get the opportunity to. Now, I do like a 53 break. As I just mentioned, I like that price area if we can get there, maybe like an afternoon type of breakout. But I love 48.50. If there's any kind of a retraction in this particular name today, that's the level of price level I'd be looking to defend. The problem with QuantumScape is you probably have to start a little bit earlier if you do a bit of a defense like that, because it might tend to gravitate through, and then you have to give it more room than just, I'm going to put a stop at the bottom end of my range, and if it goes 1 penny lower, I'm getting out. You can't trade that way in QuantumScape. It's entirely too volatile. Have to give some extra space.
We'll combine the next two because it's essentially the same news story. Both NIO and XPeng up big time here this morning as well after delivery numbers both crushed expectations. I mean, triple-digit % gains on a year-over-year basis for both NIO and XPeng, guys, for I guess it was March delivery numbers.
Yeah, I mean, Neil's ripping up here. I'm 50 cents in the money. I just got to show this. This just happened, guys. No, it's not late night TV. It's Trader TV. When you're ready for Power Hour, someone photoshopped my face onto this. So we're ready. We're ready to come with you guys. Thank you so much to Dino Trader 2 there for this tweet, and I retweeted it. So you guys can find that one. That's pretty hilarious. Here it is. Brendan also right now. Let's like that, Brendan. There's the new picture with the new look. There, it's happening, guys. 3:15 on daily. I didn't sign up for daily, did I? Daily here, Brendan. So thank you again for all the love, and thank you, Brendan, for tweeting that out as well. Just noticed that. But we're going to be coming with some huge news on Tuesday, guys. That's going to be our first show. So sleep well, and we'll be here. Last show today. We'll be back on Monday, but new show starts Tuesday afternoon. We'll be advertising that and talking about that on Monday. Okay, Neil. Oh man, the charts, they've been okay today, but they've been flipping
The April
around.
Fool's joke is the charts. Mine have crashed 3 times this morning.
Oh God, okay, well let's hope that the platform's solid as rocks.
No, I kid.
It's really the charts, and it's not even, mine don't crash. I just have to sometimes hit enter a couple times, and we know why. So let's not dead horse here. Okay, 42.20 right now to the upside. Should have cashed some out there. A big 7% move. We're already long at 41.50. Look, the story remains the same on NEO. Am I talking too fast? I've only had one coffee here. Okay, 34 was a great bottom. We tweeted that out. We talked about that over and over and over again. I put my money into Fisker instead of into NEO. It looks like I should have put some money into NEO as well. But downside there, 34 has been fantastic. We've absolutely crushed the longs here on the show. Yesterday, the long was just a monster. If we zoom back out a little bit, I'll show you what we did. Yesterday, we defended 37 as the bottom yesterday, and what a monster move that turns out to be. It goes all the way to 39 and change. We cashed some of that out after the show even ended. So NEO was a monster move. And then even the day before, downside, look at this 35 level just staring you in the face. It does break down to 34.50, but that move rockets up $3. Does NEO have another $3 move in it? Like yesterday, 37 up to 4, well, up to 39. How high did we get? 39.22. Now today again, 41.40, basically 41 up to 42. So we've already moved that $1.50. Look, this is the area now that we're going to try to look at. If it does come back down, that's 38, 50, 39. So we wrote it down here on the sheet. All I wrote down on here was just, will 38 hold? There we go. And I don't know if it will hold or not, but this market doesn't look like it wants to come down today. I think it's going to be a rally into the Easter weekend. So let's just wait to see what happens. We could take some profit off. Arun liked the long. The last time me and him agreed, it was a monster day. So let's wait to see here what happens today. But into 38 is a definite long into this 38 level. And then you use 37.50 as your bottom on NEO, but it's coming off a little bit here. What is the imbalance? Okay, it's still high side, so we'll wait to see. I'm not going to turn this one into a loser, but I'm happy holding half of this trade right now, 41.50. We won't hold this one back into 37, but let's see if it happens today. I don't know if you have anything on XPEV, but a lot of these names just moving around. What a great opportunity it was, like Monday, Tuesday this week.
Yeah, I want to cover XPEV, and you guys have been watching the last couple of days. It's been like Tesla long for the last couple of sessions for me particularly, but you can't ignore some levels here on XPEV. You had this like mini breakout, which is coming through, and of course, good numbers as well when it comes to their deliveries. Go back to this 37.50 all the way back into the end of the year, December. Definite consolidation off that range. It would be nice if it can level off and hold that area. So that's your defense right there in this particular name. It's going to be that 37.50 on the downside. I don't like the breakouts here. I much prefer to look at NEO much as Sean is, and also Tesla. Also, guys, I got into that UPC. It made a bit of a push to the upside. Tried to catch some more shares short in the 30s, but did miss. So I got 29 short on that name. Tesla is back into this 700 range, and this is what. And I got to talk about this one because it's an important level. Last time we touched there, it was just a heck of a short if you caught it. Pennies away from that 700 even, and this is what we're trying to stretch into. So you get a failed break on something like Tesla off the open here that can't get you through 700, and I do believe there's a bit of a retracement coming in here for this name. And that could lead some of these names to the downside. If you see Tesla push down, you might be looking at an opportunity in that XPeng for that 37.50 in particular, guys.
I just got out. I just hit that number there because I just want to tell you I just got out ahead of 41.95 for a 40-cent win, 45-cent win there on NEO. I'm not really worth the risk up to 42.20 just for 15 extra pennies or something that I probably would take. Let's take it out here and then not worry about what happens off the open, as Neo does have a tendency to go down. One last super chat here. Thank you, Thomas Brady. You've been fantastic. We remember you guys. Anybody that's been super chatting lately, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much. Happy Easter and awesome for you and your family as well. And look, 200,000 subscribers. Where is that bottle anyways, Brendan? Because we need to get close to that number. We're pretty close now. I don't think we'll be 3,000 away. So hey, if you guys have any friends, send them the link now. Maybe we can get started early on this drink and have a little pop here before Easter starts.
Yeah, they took it away from me. I'm not sure. It's around here somewhere, but
I mean, they probably drank it all.
They're hiding it for themselves.
they're hiding it.
This is probably Rob's idea of a joke.
Microvision,
Wow.
guys. Let's discuss Microvision here. MVIS popping up on that Microsoft news yesterday. A supplier of the lenses that are going into these goggles. So the move in Microvision, was much bigger than Microsoft.
That's we tried to show that one to you. Like, I mean, just an understatement to say how big the move was in Microvision. But let's keep in mind, like, just to show you guys on the daily chart, because I don't think I brought it up. Apologies there. I just showed you the 15-minute. This was that level that I talked about here, that 19 to 19.20 that we had that top. So I guess not too much of a surprise to do that. Quarter mile, I got to watch 550 on UPC. I don't want that one to break on me. If we get anywhere close to it, it doesn't. I thought we were going to get there, and then there was a big flush in the pre-market, so we're probably not going to get a chance to short that level. I wanted to short Microvision. I'm not going to short necessarily Microsoft on that news. I'd rather play the name that had the oversized move here, and it's sort of obvious to say that in Microvision. But we've already had a bit of a pullback in the pre-market. I thought we'd get a chance to test this consolidation at 18, make a lower high, and then be able to jump into some shares that way. Of course, that's not the case yet, but we are trying to press through this 1750. So if we do get a top, if we get a top break off these levels here, 1750 on Microvision, I almost want to be fading this one into that 18. If it breaks 18, I'll let it sort of gravitate into that high before taking a shot at MVIS to the south side. But I think there's other tech names that I'd rather play the long side on than Microvision, given how big that move was to the upside. I'd rather just be on the side of the fade, because I think there's more potential gain there.
Yeah, I mean, Microvision, a good stock here. I'm still trying to watch. I mean, Neil just went over some of the levels there. It's going to be a good one to trade. Let's watch the volume as it pops through. Do we want to just keep going on our list here, because we only have 8 minutes and still a bunch of little names to talk about that I think our viewers probably would enjoy.
Fubo TV, the first one, signing a carriage agreement with Marquee Sports Network that will bring Chicago Cubs baseball to Fubo's platform coming up this season. So decent news once again for Fubo. This is one, guys, that when it gets going can give you huge moves.
100%. So I'm going to quickly go to the daily chart and show you guys right here, 23 and change. That's going to be that January bottom that Fubo TV had. You basically had an outsized move downside, and then we hold this like 20 even, hold some higher lows, and then you had a top of that range, which is the 23. So previous support to resistance. We're now consolidating above it. There was a 23.50 break. That was a pre-market high. I took that. This is one I'm willing to sort of dive into and keep up all the way back into pullbacks. Now, I actually have a bid in front of 23 in case it goes that far, but I essentially have just only been buying the break and then bought a dip here at 59, and I have another bid in front of 22.50 here. I've taken some profit out, scalp 10, scalp 25, scalp 20. I'll do that along the way, but I want to maintain a long position on Fubo, because as Brendan mentioned, if it gets going, this is a stock that, forget about like $25, right? Like this could be, easily testing 10-15% moves on a session. That's not crazy for a name like Fubo. So I like the long side of this one today.
Yeah, I actually wrote down 25 today as a possibility, so I'm with you on that one. And again, I just want to see what the NASDAQ does, because if the NASDAQ can fall, this is definitely a buy name for sure, down to this 22.50, 22.60, 23 even flat area. I mean, it's only 70 cents down. We could easily retest some of these moves here. Fubo TV, again, a name that's loved by Wall Street bets. It's a good name to trade. It does have those violent moves like Neil was mentioning here. So well off its highs. And I looked into Fubo TV. I thought it was like $69.99 a month or something like that, which for what they offer is fantastic. I just wonder if it's a little bit high to be in that space with that price. I think the value is there, and I'm not trying to make like a fundamental call on Fubo, but I do like what they're doing. They have a lot of deals, and here's just another one with Chicago Cubs. I mean, baseball is going to be huge as more and more people. I mean, we're going to get locked down today again in Ontario, and so it's sad. I don't know where you guys are located, but basically our kids are going to get pulled out of school. There's going to be no more dining. It's going to be takeout only. I'm glad I have a reservation tomorrow night. That should be the last night that we're able to eat in any restaurant. So look, I mean, as sports come back, I'm hoping that there's more and more people out and watching events. But hey, if not, Fubo TV, gets some of that love as well from more people staying at home rather than going out to the events. So I think sports is a huge aspect for them. So that's Fubo TV, and it's so sad what's happening here and across the world. I wish everybody safety and wellness, obviously. Thank you, Michael Ski, for the 20 as well. Happy anniversary. Happy Easter. It's my anniversary tomorrow. Happy Easter to everybody as well. So
you can tell us how many years. Come on, Sean.
Yeah, it's 25-year anniversary, but feels like that. No, it's our 10 years. So shout out to my lovely wife there. We'll be celebrating tomorrow. As I said, the first time we've been into a restaurant in probably 6 months, I guess.
Guys, one last little one. 10 years, Sean. Congrats. I keep turning this TV off when I come up here. Funko, FNKO, the latest entrant into the world of NFTs, announcing an agreement today to acquire a majority stake in an NFT company. So back to 22. We were here last week, if you remember, in the pre-market. It faded that move all the way back down to where this thing's been all week long. So watch 22. 23 above that is where I left the cursor here. That is pre-market highs, but we're kind of into this area where it was trading that day last week for FNKO, guys.
Yes, sir. Funko, feel that funk. UPC is another name here. I know you guys. We talked about it with Luis just a second ago. And I tried to fire it in there because I want we're live trading. We want you guys to know what is active and what we're going to be trading. So I did work into this one. I said I missed a chance to get some in the 30s. I did pick some up here at 37. Finally, I made another secondary push. So I got some at 35 and was like, oh, I didn't get enough. I got some more shares at 37 here. Then a flush into this 5 area just now. So we make some profit on that one. I don't know if this is going to the gates of hell. But there is this support at $5 for now. And that's why if I'm going to short into pops, and I do not, if it makes another push in the last 5 minutes going into 9:30, I don't take those. I would actually cover this one if it breaks 550 and then work off the high day. You guys know that plan. If it breaks 5 even, that's actually a place where you can consider adding to the position, or at least I am likely to add to the position unless I already have a reload post open here, guys. So UPC is another one that we're going to be watching today. And obviously, with only about 3 minutes to go, I just want to throw this one out here for you, Sean. TIN, I believe TIN is the traditional 10-year anniversary gift. I don't know where they come up with those things because I don't know what you get. That's TIN. That's a good gift.
You mean I have to get a gift? Oh, this is going to be a problem. But yes, happy anniversary to my wife. Thank you for putting up with me for this many years, and it's our 10th. 25 was a joke. How old do I look, guys? Okay, 9:27, a quick check here on imbalance locator. And okay, it's Neo time okay, good out by me, yay. Finally, we'll hit the siren on that one. We got out at 41.95. We'll see if that's right or not, but it's bouncing around right now. Oh, we didn't talk too much about Palantir. Let's do that quickly. You guys love Palantir. I love Palantir. Who loves Palantir more than me? I do not know, but $21 was my recent buy. No, it was $21.80 something recently bought on this dip. So we were trying to protect this 20 level. Got a little shaky there, almost broke this 20. This was that bottom. We got close, man. 21 even is basically as low as we got on this recent pullback, and now we're seeing $24 on the high side here. A 1 minute chart pulls us back in a little bit. We did fade back that 23 yesterday, so we do know these moves are possible, and I just think that on a longer term frame here, if we call up this 20 minute, we only have 2 minutes to go. We'll check out the NASDAQ imbalance in a minute. This is the 20 minute chart. You could see here, I still am looking at this 23 level. Even though yesterday we were long 22.50, we were long 23, we broke this out. My best out was, I think, 23.70 something in the after show, after the show ended. So right now we'll see if we can fade back in. We do have a lot of consolidation into 23, 23.50. The moving average is 23 even. So 23.12. Let's wait to see if we move back into the 23 range. A 24 take is nice though, because 24 was a problem up here. And then when we broke it, right straight to the downside. So I think this break gets us to like 24 quarters, and then if it's a real good day, we get to 24.50, and then we'll see if we test 25. I said we look at the NASDAQ, so let's do that quick time here. Nothing really of any avail on here that we like to look at. Qs, of course, is the market. That's a nice little buy there. So less than a minute, Neil.
Yeah, less than a minute to go, guys. A lot on the move. I don't know if we talked about FTFT, but very, very quickly here. Making a bit of a break, trying to get through this 8 even. So this is a very big key level here. If that fails off of the open, I'd watch for like a 770 retracement. Lots of consolidation, in particular in that name at that price. I'm also going to be tracking Tesla. It's at 689, so getting very close to that 700 level. That's going to be a big one. I did say I'm in this like ACY look. File for Chapter 11. I've been shorted all morning long. It is leveling out. I'll take a break of the low of the day if I get a chance on that. But if you're going to be up 20% at 1.34% days after filing Chapter 11 and there's no other news, well, I'm going to get involved. And UPC, like I said, I would not average into this. I'm not averaging into this spike going into this time. Never a good idea, at least in my opinion. There's usually better opportunities there. Let's drop that countdown. I do believe it's Miss V on the bell. I missed that. What happened? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get this. What was that? I don't even know what happened.
And we're off. Okay, Micron just ripping off right now. Like, it just ripped through $93 on that open, so I don't have any love for this yet. Wow, Micron. Normally, I punched the crap out of that level, and I did not today, thinking that look at this move, bang, to the upside there. Let's see if Micron can fade back into this 92.50 area, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to see if it's going to make that fade. That FTFT so far tried to go, like it burst through that top. Now I'm beginning a bit of a retracement. I'm looking at that 770 area. Chew that one out there. So if it breaks back below that, I look for an entry on this name on a reshake. I like the failed break aspect of that 8 even, so some people caught in the trap. I do not average into that UPC. It breaks 550 and then comes right back in, so I will take a shot at this now below that particular price and still have some of that FUBO, which is working out for me to the long side. I want to pick more shares up at 23.50 if I can. Tesla just came back down, 685, so it is reversing.
Yeah, some things are reversing pretty good here. So we did take NEO long at 41.35. So here's NEO initial position right now. The only position I have is this NEO. So it does drop down. We've been watching this all through. The only problem is, guys, I don't really have a level. So I don't want to average into this one too much. I don't have a level here that we can watch. Even on a 20 period moving average, there's not much, man. I mean, 40.50 right there, all the way down to 39.50. So not much here to average in and be confident on, but right now NEO, a nice win, man. We'll take this one. 17 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents in the money. Boom, nice trade for NEO.
Absolutely, and good look there. I was watching this FUBO. King comes in. I got my bids down in front of that 23, so we were scalping it off of that level at VWAP. Took it one more time at VWAP. Now we're working in front of that 23 area. Remember, if we have a target thinking this thing can get to 25 today, and I think that's not crazy, I want to be building along in front of that low. Now you have to give it some room past the 23 if you think it has some further potential. FTFT, I did say I was going to take a shot at this, but only if it broke 770. See, look at that. It holds 770, now shooting to the upside. So this is why I didn't just immediately jump into the short. It has to sell through support before I'm going to get involved. And I just got some short on that ACY, that bankrupt company. I'm going to be taking this one short pretty much the whole way through. Okay,
so it's a big win here. Yeah, good short there. It's a big win for NEO. So raining down the cashes, we just went up to $42 again as the NASDAQ keeps on going. I'm waiting at 50 for Palantir. Here it comes. We'll see if we start this position right now. We did have a worry, about this 23.50 area. So there it is. We're on. Oh my God, I was just on the bid at 53 there. We missed us. What up, B?
Another one to look at here, guys. We just broke 4,000, by the way, on the S&P. For the first time ever, eBang, EBON, downside on a big offering. They also announced some more expansion plans into crypto land, but breaking back through 7 here to the upside for EBON.
Ooh, good look there. And there's that retracement on FTSE. So actually just got it when it broke that 770 here. A little more weakness. You see another failed break. So I like, if we can consolidate here, I want to be adding to the position. But if I don't see any sideways action, I'm not going to add. Or if it doesn't break maybe like a 760 to the downside. But it was very, very particular. Here we go. Now I want to actually pick up some more shares if I can to the south side. So if it wants to make a move back up, I would have taken some at 8 even. But as long as we continue, I like failed breakouts. That's what's going to work out. And got to dig into that AC ACY, like I said, that one to me just shouldn't be going up. So I'm going to work into that one as well. And Fubo, a bit of a bounce off 23. I did get a bit of an ad, so I got 23.40s, but I missed one more entry point, so holding that 23 line for now.
Oh man, Neo, like, good thing we took some out there for that 50 cents on that, sorry, 40 cents. It was 41.32. It does go all the way upside, and now it's coming right back down. We've built a position in Palantir now. As you can see, a couple longs downside. I have some outs, I believe, coming. So hopefully at 65 or so, we'll get some out on Palantir. Right now it's a baby long. We're long at 53 here. I do want to use 23 as support. So if we can get some out here, that'd be nice. And then we'll wait to see if it drops down even further, we'll average into this one. So right now, here it goes. Come on, there it is. So out some 65s there. So it's a small win. It's 15 cents, but we'll wait to see if we can't get more on that one. We did take another bid on Neo down here at 41.13. So probably you can cash some of that out right now. And then let's see how high we go now upside as our price now, 41.15. Still making us a winner on Neo. Only two positions, and they're both long right now. Looking at my board, let's have a quick look, Neil, at QS 52, sorry. We're going to see if it comes back down to 50. Other than that, what's your Fubo doing? Are you still in that?
Fubo's still holding 23s, about that quarter. The only thing that matters, well, I mean, I shouldn't say the only thing that matters. The thing I'll focus on is that I got 42s on ACY. It's at 467 and a halt. So it's halted through. I'm always going to take some out, even if I believe in the short. I'm always going to take some out on a reopen trade when it halts, just because that's the way I'm going to play it. So Fubo's going to go. I already have my levels for that. FTFT, I've already got this one to the downside. If it breaks 8, I really don't have any trouble sort of lightening the load and then waiting for a test of the high of the day. Got to have a plan of action when you come into some of these. And I'm not going to be adding to anything at this point because should be a 5-minute volatility halt and open at 9:38, so time to get my orders out. But it could be a 10-minute one as well. So I know if it doesn't open in 5, it's opening in 10. And I want to make sure I'm covering at least half on that reopen trade. Brendo?
Maybe today is the day for BlackBerry, just popping up here 3%. Quick move on volume off the bat here. Remember yesterday, big down day through recent lows. So BlackBerry bouncing back. Also that UPC we mentioned just halted, guys.
Okay, we got into some softy here, breaking through 239 like we mentioned. I mean, I was really, really hoping on the sticky note is 237 downside. So there it is. Okay, we'll take a little bit off right there. A little chicken dinner winner there, long through 239. A beautiful win now for this. 40 cents in the money on Neo right now. So that's a big one, still ripping higher. And then Palantir, a big win as well. And Micron, we just got 92.50s here. That could fade through. What up, V? Here comes Micron to the downside, but everything else working for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to go back to that Fubo, guys. So there was another chance to get in. Look at these wicks here, guys. There was another chance to get in that I just missed at 23.10. Now I have to watch out because I am in that halt trade. Not UPC because they take you out in that one. But now Fubo's trying to make this little bounce. It's going to be without my last entry point, which is okay. But I will take some out if we break back above that 23.50, heading towards that 23.85. Current double top. You got to keep in mind, one of the reasons why I want to take some profit is because it is going to be a double halt. I have 1 minute before we get the reopen over in ACY, so I want to come back to FTFT, which still consolidating off of that low. I'm not going to add again unless it either pops into that like 8 range or we get a break of like 750. Not a bad place to add, especially as it actually looks like it's flushing right here. So I should get some out in front of 750. That will make a little bit of sense, and then see if we can't get a breakdown trade or a consolidation bounce so I can short some more in that FTFT. Come on, Fubo, give me another entry point down here. Looking at Fubo right now, just in the teens, going to see if I can't pick some up there as well. Okay, 1 minute to go until I get that reopen, and that's going to be the key for me. If you're in a halt trade, that's the focus of my attention because it's going to be the riskiest position I'm going to have on, of course.
So far, so good on the trades today, man. Neo. So we're just crushing this right now. Microsoft, let's go. Like, I mean, how good of a day is this, guys, today when we get the bangs early, man. Look at Softy, man. 239, a rip upside now, 60, 65. Let's keep going on Microsoft. Neo, 40 cents in the money. Palantir, 20 cents in the money. Give it to them, Bren.
ON Semiconductors just popping up here. All-time highs. Yeah, I guess above that last little wick up there. 42.90. We got up to just above that right at the open. 2.5% ON Semiconductor. The entire group, though, again today, pretty strong, guys.
All right, we're just scalping out Palantir, guys. Like if you're noticing, this is what we've been doing the last couple of days. So we're in, we take a decent amount of shares, and then we just sort of scalp them out right now. We are still waiting. We're out of How much do we have left? We're at a 60%, so 6 outs there. And then we'll wait to see if it does test a little lower. I don't know, man. It's slippery slope today. The NASDAQ just makes a nice move up. We called that, like when it was up 1.1%, we called a nice little bump. So that's a nice move. We've been long 4 names, all in the NASDAQ, all big. I mean, Palantir and NEO aren't NASDAQ names, but we do know that they run with the NASDAQ. Micron is really the only one that we're in trouble with here. We took a 92.50 bid. It goes in the money for us, almost 50 cents, but we'd spit at that. Why did I do that? Let's get some more longs and dump it if it breaks through 91.50. Was that Brendan again?
CNBC guys talking AMC $500 million share offering just coming through here. You can see 500 million share offering for AMC just got flushed.
That's not good news. Thanks for that, Brenda.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a 10-minute halt on the other stocks, so I can pay attention to AMC. Well, look at the gap to the downside. We broke that 10 on AMC. If it gives any kind of a look, if it gives any kind of a little bit of a pop on that news, I'm going to see if I can't get like 10.05, 10.10, something along that range here. Apologies, that was such a big move. When I load my charts, it still has the gap. It'll fill that in. So if we can't get back to the upside to short any kind of a pop. I'm also watching Tesla, guys. I don't want to get too far away from this name because as we're seeing the market rally, just note that Tesla. Not so much, guys. It's still holding a little bit lower here, so it does resist any move into that 700, and it could be a bit of a bellwether. If we get a turn on that name, watch out for some of the other EV spaces we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to find and see if there's any other names here that we're missing. Okay, Microsoft, it goes right back. We get out of a little piece there as it breaks back down below 239, but that's a flat trade. So, yeah, now we hold small on that one. Unfortunately, I lost a little bit of faith in NEO there and took that profit out, but NEO's still a good winner for us. Just watching the NASDAQ here is very, very, wow, bumping again today. Unbelievable. Let's go over to Square. We saw the kind of run that Square could have, and this is what it's doing today. Bing, right up to 235. Where was all the pre-market? What happened here? Did this just gap higher there? I don't know. I got to check out this Square chart. That doesn't seem right, that we just gapped off the open. Okay, but if we did, where were we yesterday? I mean, this is a high for Square. Let me get back to you on this name because not really sure what that gap up is all about there. That seems strange to me, unless there was some sort of a imbalance that I didn't notice on Square. That shouldn't have been going. Microsoft, yes, sir, the pins still are lined up for this one as we're back in the money 50 cents.
I want to come to that UPC now. Of course, it's still in a halt as well, and it looks like it might be more than 5 minutes. It looks like it may be a 10-minute halt, just noticing that it didn't open up here. I covered it like that 560 when it broke. This was the name that I did not want to hold through the open, is what we talked about here, guys. If it does give you a reopen, oh, thank you, my chart's still on space because I was just watching that. If it does open shy, anything shy of this little cluster that it has at like 750, I think you can maybe look to see if that's going to be that support level or sort of resistance level. If it opens lower, it's sort of the same playbook that we always have. Play off only that high at 625, right? So I'd short something below 590 or below 6 even, and then playing off at 625. That's the only two ways I would like to get into a short position in that particular name. And still weakness in Tesla, which I cannot ignore. This one now getting down to that 680. I want to fade into this if it can maybe come back up. I was looking at 687. I'm kind of married to this idea of the 87s from the way up on Tesla and shouldn't have been waiting for it. Should have looked at that 685. But if we pop back in, maybe I'll use 87s as an out on an 84, 85 short.
Yeah, I just averaged in. Oh, that's still Microsoft. Wow, Microsoft. Okay. Hot dogs. $1 now winner for Microsoft to the upside. Still should have held more of that trade, but we don't, of course. That's how we do it. Okay, NEO, and the other name was Palantir. That's what I wanted to touch base on. We were waiting for these dips. Then we took another one right there. So averaged into I mean, I can't believe we got that. That's 34s. They're the low of the day, 29s or so. So that was a good print for us down there, 34. So now we take that and we go to the upside. Our average price now 45 off of some of these 50s and then a 34. So now we're going to the high side. Let's take a little bit off here at 50. So there's another win for us. Again, everything working out. I don't know why we didn't get more NEO or Micron. I thought I was bidding. I'm bidding 92.02s. Must have missed us there. When it only goes down to 04s. That's okay. Micron, we still have this long. It was a great report. I love the name. It already made the move to 94 right off the open. Let's see if it can't get going back there. So Micron making moves. Microsoft, I may dump this, man. That's a nice move. 240s. These key levels. We've already bumped off there, 240. Big move for Microsoft. If the NASDAQ keeps going, though, this is the name that's going to continue to have some love. QS, one of my favorite names because of how it moves, and then I'm holding it. But right now, not doing much. That's the daily chart. Who cares? High. Wow, it got to 53.20 today. Let's see if it pulls back in. I'm bidding around here 50s just to see if we get into this level, and then 48.50 is really the knockout punch there. Okay, Micron, I see you. Now you're starting to go. So we're long Micron 52 up to 70, 75. Let's go. Let's get some out at 75.
If I fade anything that's not Tesla, it's likely to be Micron. But here's the push up into Fubo. I almost said Fubo.
Boom.
Yeah, whatever. You guys don't want to talk about. Either way, up to that 23.75 area. Now, of course, look, we're gonna have a winner on this one. That's nice. We're averaging in. We're scalping it in the morning and then loading up in front of that 23. So it's kind of like two trades in one here. It still might not take out that 23.85, which means it'll still be dip buys for me. But this time, I'll probably take some in the 23.30 to 40 range, in addition to waiting around for that 23.10. And everything's gonna, wow, we did not open up on that ACY. So I gotta double check here. That actually might be news related if I have to guess, because I didn't see anything material. So I'm gonna double check on that one. Always gotta check those halts. No matter what, I wanna cover some on whatever the reopen might be on that particular name. This is the dip back in Fubo. I wanna be patient with this. I wanna make sure I'm not just sort of jumping into the long too early. The last time that I entered on that 50, probably didn't need to, because the dip buys were done when the market opened at 9:30, but I still had it in there, so I didn't start that position too early. And then loaded up at the bottom here. Last entry is at 23.20, and I look to defend this 23 area all day long on Fubo TV. Brendo?
Another one we've traded many times on the show, guys. Express Spa. Remember they have those COVID-19 vaccine stations in airports now. Just popped up here. Through day highs. Not a huge move, but they reported earnings aftermarket yesterday for XSPA.
Here we go, guys. Spin it.
Money.
Look at Micron today, guys. Wow. I was talking with Brendan about this earlier, not earlier today, but in the last couple of weeks. I've told you guys too, I'm changing up my strategy, guys. I'm just trying to find the best levels instead of taking breakouts. Like normally I would have had that, and I probably, obviously I would have had 93 up to 94, but pick your spots, man. Micron comes right back in. Should have got longer down there. I was bidding, and here we go. Micron right now with 70-cent winner on board. Palantir, same kind of thing, man. Wait for these dips. Buy them. Don't buy the breaks early, right? Normally I would have gone long through 24, but no, we wait for it to dip down. Bang, get hit. Bang, upside. Big win there on Palantir. I mean, this is a 33 long, out 49s, out 61s. You got to be patient. Micron, we talked about that. And then Microsoft, yeah, this one was a breakout. We waited for that. We knew why we liked Microsoft on breakout, and that works. So one breakout works today, great. This is a big winner. We're $1 in the money on this one. Everything else today, man, it's just one of those days where we're slaying dragons. We're 3 for 3, and really, we dumped Neo at a perfect spot. Like, we were getting nervous here, and it does drop down to 41. Oh, missed that level too. I don't even have any bids over there.
Trade. So I'm still on Fubo here, but got the reopen trade on that ACY. No matter what, I take out half. I get a reentry when it looks like it's coming back down, but tighter stop on the rest of it, guys. So this is what happens if you get caught in a halt trade. So that'll easily be my worst trade of the day. There's no question about it. I was able to dodge the bullet on UPC, which is now open back up, but I'm not done with this name particularly. Like, I still have setups that can work here. I like it through these flush levels. I should have waited maybe for the retest at 5 even, because I've made top wick now, but going to be patient with this. It's all about the patience game. If it's going to, and I still think it's absolute garbage. They're going to basically file that chapter 11. So that's the important thing here. If we get below 485, that 480 halt price, I do like it back down in between the halt up, 465, and that 485 level. So that's going to be my look here in ACY as we regather. Brendo, what do you got, buddy?
Another one reporting, guys. UAVS, the drone maker, up big time, 18% at one point in the pre-market. Was higher aftermarket yesterday, but surprise beat for UAVS.
Okay. Oh, you know what we're talking about? We talked about yesterday. Like, let's go, Palantir. Let's go. Yes, out right there, 67, a little bit more, as it just does break above that VWAP. It gets as high as 75. We didn't take any off there, but everything cruising right now, man. Look at this Micron trade. That's $1 in the money right now on Micron trade. So a big win here as it just keeps on going to the upside. Microsoft, we talked about that 63 cents. Palantir, new highs right now on Palantir. I mean, obviously the high off the open was right there, but this is a new high for intraday trading. I'm going to call it that. Up to 23.75. That's a good spot for me. We get out at the quarters, so let's get another piece out right now, just in case it does continue to fall down, and then we'll watch this 24 level V.
Hey Sean, chat talks about C3 AI. Stock is up more than 7%, guys.
Okay, another beat down name. I mean, we
Still wouldn't like it.
Yeah, Neil, we've talked about this one a lot. Not a lot, but we talked about it when we were looking at some recent IPOs that have got absolutely pummeled. So C3AI 94 up to 180. Like, give me a break on some of these. And then look at this, just an epic. Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 green days since February 9th. And then now we had 3 in a row. So a nice bottom, 61 to 73 right there. Really the jump, I guess, would be 75 for a level. Yeah, look, my charts are missing data. I'm going to, Neil, are you having this problem?
I had it on one stock, but
I'm just gonna
it filled
refresh.
back in after a while, guys. So 2 things. One ACY gave me the entry point, so I got back into this one. It's still holding 5 even. Fubo's at that high. I said if it got to the high of the day, I would take some out, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth when it's there. If it does pull back, like I said, I did want it in the 30s to 40s in the pullback. It bounced off VWAP, so no re-entry point for me on Fubo. There's the break of the high, but as you know, we try to trade those even dollars. I'll actually only add on a breakout at 24 even or dips. I'll take VWAP now. I mean, I probably should have the first time through. So I just had those 23.20s. This is when I wanted to dig into the long side, and I said I would dig into ACY on the short side. Now that it's reopened, I got that 77, so in between 65 and 80, like I said. And going to get to that UPC in a second as well. But right now, for me, all about Fubo. Potential break at that 24 even. I'm not going to take it until it breaks that price, so it gives me VWAP on a retrace.
All right, I'm not sure what to do here, man. We got a monster winner on Micron as now we're breaking the high again of the day, 94 and change. So, wow. You know, debating just getting it out right here because we've had a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a quad. It's soon to be top at 94. So let's just see if it keeps breaking highs. But you know what? I may just get out of this one. This is a big runner here. The NASDAQ could fade out here, but I don't know, man. NASDAQ staying strong and staying high side right now. So big wins, man. Dollar winner on Microsoft, dollar winner on Micron, and then now 30 cents on Palantir. Just took another piece off at 60 there. So let's wait to see. Here it comes back upside again, Palantir. So yeah, everything moving and rocking. Microsoft at the day's high. What up to Hydration Nation? What up to Shakib? Whoa. Let's just keep this party going here. Stay hydrated. Health is important. 240.20 right now coming on Microsoft. Your boy has been making this today on 4 longs. Neo, Palantir, Microsoft, and MU. And not only that, they're all on the sticky note and they're all talked about. I planned out every single one of these trades, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the morning show as well. We're back 3:15 on Tuesday. New show alert.
Absolutely, all about that afternoon show, and it looks like I got jinxed too with that chart thing, Sean. So I wanted to check in on AMAT, up another 5% today. So that was, you know, sort of, I'm not saying there's obvious picks, but the infrastructure bill going to be helping out some of these names as well, guys. So, and AMAT, look, I don't know. I feel like there's some profit taking. If my chart would load, I would show it to you there in the daily. But I have to get back to that ACY. It's all about preaching a little bit of patience with this particular name. It actually, and this is, look, we got out here after we had that reload, right? So I made top wick, had another reentry, got out at 515. Then suddenly it gave me the range that I should have been waiting for, which is that whole price here at that 465 area, and then in front of that like 5 even. So now I'm in a new position. This is at that 477 range, right sort of in the middle. If we break down, and this bottom here at 460, that's where I look to start taking profit off. I did start this one all the way down here. I was shorting this one in the pre-market, by the way, guys, all around these levels at 440 into 410. So those are what I'm working with in terms of exits to the out. Started in front of that 440, which was the top end of the range that I was shorting in front of, and then all the way down to that 410. I don't know that it breaks that 410. It was a 350 stock yesterday, but it was one that I knew I wanted to take multiple shots at short. The only mistake, and of course this is going to be true, I never want to be caught in the actual halt, just not quick enough on the keys, was watching UPC at the time.
Yeah, today's one of those days where some of these names, man, just ripping around like madness right now. So watch out. Neo is one of those. I mean, great longs and great out. Like Spidey senses went off here about 42, and then that's been the high. And now we're just dipping down. I don't want to buy any of these dips, guys. I would rather play the break rate here at 41.20. So we're gonna wait for 41.20 to come back up. I've got my stop order in there. If it wants to break that 41.20 level, then I will be in. I don't want to. The thing about Neo is it's already up 5%. It's had a monster week. You guys already know about that. You know, we're coming from $34 back on Monday, Tuesday, up to $42 today. So I'm happy with Neo, and I'm happy. Look, whoop. What happened? I'm happy with Neo and I'm happy looking at it today, but it needs to get above this VWAP here. So 41.20. I'm gonna take it a little bit before it and just to see if it gets going. And if it doesn't, man, I have a guaranteed out like at 41. So that's the kind of risk profile that I'm trying to play with. Microsoft though, I mean, guys, Mr. Softy, like when you hear me talk about Softy, you know I'm gonna put on the shares, and here it is, a moonshot for you, Mr. Softy. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, data issue on my chart, but I'll show you this Velodyne VLDR. We mentioned Microvision, the one with the actual tie to, Microsoft. But VLDR also getting a nice bump here, 11% so far.
And this is why you play that patience game, guys. The flush eventually comes in here. I'm also waiting on that FTFT, but ACY starting to make that break that I was looking for to the downside. And this is one thing, keep in mind, right? So I candidly told you guys, caught in a halt. I almost never get caught in these halts, but I did get caught in this one. I make top wick at the top here. Going to certainly be my worst trade of the day. Now you can say, go away from the stock. Can't, because this is one of the ones I had my first read on. There's no reason it should be up. And if that, consolidation shorts in the pre-market, that's one trade. Shorting into a pop off the open, that's another trade. Trading post halt on the stock I think is weak is a separate trade. So you have 3 separate looks. If it sets up, you've got to take it. Right back on the horse here. It's working its way down. Just got some shares out at that 440. So you kind of just go back to what is your core plan in a situation like that. You're going to have had that hit. But you have to be able to walk away from it and say, okay, what is next? And what was next was getting patient and waiting. Still patiently waiting for the 24 break on Fubo. That's been good both on the buys on the dip and that break at 23.50, but also looking for a re-entry point if I can get that reload there. FTFT is back to that same entry price. Now, I've been one and done in this name, just that one consolidation short at 70s. Tight stop here when it broke up. Didn't want to give it to high a day. At this point, I'll probably wait for it to break 750. Like I said earlier, I was going to add if it broke 750. I'm not going to get back into this unless it breaks 750. So I want to see that kind of weakness in FTFT before I jump back in.
Yeah, good analysis there. And look, sometimes we're going to get blown out. We're going to take bad wicks. We're going to get stopped in halts. Like, the market is just it's so nice. Okay, Palantir now, just to let you guys know, it's struggling here into the NASDAQ, continuing to move up. So I did take another piece off. Now we're super light, man, 5% left of Palantir. And just to give you, before I throw to Brendan quickly here, Micron is bouncing to 94. So what I've decided here is this 93.50 is a solid level. So I'm gonna get long 93.70 or so and see if we can't make a little bit more money on a dip in and then a rip back through 94 if the NASDAQ keeps going. It's well worth the risk here because if I get 93.70s, my risk is only 20 cents to the downside because we're going to be on 93.50. Wowzers, Microsoft now, big time, boom, to the upside. Wow, just wish we would have held more on that one. There goes Neo, so we're into our 41.20s. What's up, Brendan?
Another one to look at here, guys. We're talking solo. Even the little EVs getting a bump. Again, disregard this. There's some data missing on our charts, but just saw this on a huge volume spike, guys. Solo starting to go.
Yeah, and well, we talked about a lot of these names, but a couple here. CLII, you guys know I'm not going to say the actual name of the company, and ChargePoint was the other. Look at this top on ChargePoint. Now, MVIS has made a pullback, of course, may have missed that opportunity, and so has UPC. But ChargePoint, have a look at this 31, or rather 30.89, which is a double top, pre-market and off of the open. So it does feel like there's some names that are running here that have run into some resistance. I certainly named the MVIS as one, but let's see if that ChargePoint can't be the same thing. It would make sense for some profit taking to come into that one. And CLII can't seem to get itself going either. So any push into 31 looks like a fade to me. FTFT is getting very close for me to taking the short, but it's not quite there yet. And speaking of MVIS, sort of this is what I'm getting at with this name. It did give that little push, and forget about shorting Microsoft. Like I said, if you had to play a fade game, it has to be in the one with the outsized move into that 1750. I don't like a bottom break on this name. I feel like it's entirely too volatile. And you also have, of course, that's not going to actually load. So let's go give you level 2. At times have like a 2 to 5 cent spread, which opens up. So you're going to pay a little bit extra if you try to short that 16. So I'd rather get into this on the way up on some buying as opposed to jumping in on that bid. And that'll be around the 17 area.
It's just hilarious. Like I average into Neo here, and yeah, now it's a small average. We're going to use this 40.90 as our breaking spot. We're going to get out of this in a second. No real expectations. Just thought that we could have ripped through that level. I got to keep my eyes on the level 2 here. Although we do have a stop order in, so I guess I don't have to worry that much. But we were looking at this 41. There it comes. We were looking at this 41.20 level. We did take it, like we said, and it just looks like we're going to be wrong. A small average in. My price isn't changing that much here, so let's see if it does hold that level. I don't know. Shouldn't have took it though, because everything else is working out for us. Like, look at Softy, man. We should have put more money into this one instead of into Neo. But there you go. Neo's out, so whatever. Doesn't really damage our net. Upside now, Softy keeps going. Micron keeps going as well, up to 94.31. I think we're going to get this off. This seems like a good moment now. It's 10 o'clock. Let's take some Micron off here right now. A big move to the upside, guys.
Yeah, and gonna get back to that UPC. I did get a reload in Fubo, so you'll see I had like 42s. Now I wanted to pick some up on a VWAP bounce. I'll continue to take profit in front of that high of day, but look at UPC. You get the monster flush back down. You wait for, this is the thing I usually wait for, but gotta manage the stock that's in the halt, right? You have to focus on the more risk position, and during a halt in an illiquid stock like that is always gonna be more important. But this is what you look for. You get out so that you can get this sort of retracement. It opens and then flushes through 7. Now I want to see if we can hold this price area where it halted on the upside 625, a failed break here, and I like the 6 area short with that 25 to 30 is my out on UPC. I mentioned Fubo. I just got more shares a couple of seconds ago, maybe a couple of minutes. Right here off of VWAP, so I'm going to continue to take orders out in front of that high a day, and I still like the buy through the top. As long as the market's looking strong, I'll maintain buying through that 24 even push. It did stall out. This little wick up here, that's like a dark pool print. I didn't see an actual break of 24 even, so I still have that as the high of day.
Okay, I just want to give you guys an update quickly here. We just got into, look at that out there on Micron. Like we talked about that 94.19 out, and then we just took another long rate here. So let's see if we cashed that out at 82. Did we get those 82s? Yes, we did. So 71 out 82, just making back that money that we lost there on Micron. And then, yeah, we did get out of Neo there. That might have been the bottom. So now we're going to use this as the very bottom. Who knows, man? This could be, again, we're still winning on Neo because of these trades, but it could be a negative one. Microsoft still making moves upside, guys. Let's watch out for the NASDAQ. But right now, we got to watch out for Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets for Thursday. I almost said Friday there. NASDAQ, first off, 1.6%, both leading the way. Once again, the composite and the 100 having a nice day. Once again, both the Dow and S&P also in positive territory. But again, the Dow kind of struggling. We're basically flat. S&P 0.6% to the upside. The Russell back to the upside as well. Has been on such a tear so far this year. Another 1.1% for small caps. Here in Toronto, 0.8% for the TSX. Let's have a look at a couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market. Yeah, the guys were mentioning Neo. Here goes XPEV as well. 38 needs to hold. Might be a problem below that. We were all the way down here. What was that? 36 and a quarter at the end of the day yesterday. So long way to go if it wants to for XPEV to the downside. Microvision as well. Again, disregard the whole here in our data, but trying to hold some levels here, guys, at pre-market support for MVIS. Showed you that VLDR as well starting to rally. Back over to you.
Yeah, that Microvision, I like this one if it can hold, just get back above that 17 area, but it looks like FTFT could be the next one. Trying to break that 750. This is an important level for it to hold downside. You got VWAP as well over in Fubo, but I'm sort of glued to this FTFT. And if it bounces off of here, I'm basically not doing anything till at 8 even. But I like this like 750 for a flush point. And again, look at how long it consolidated off this level, as early as 7:30 in the morning, and then again after the 8 o'clock volume push. Right off the open, I was in a short when it resisted 750. I could have taken some profit scalping in front of it, but when you have $6 to 750, I'm looking for a little bit bigger remove than like 20 cents. So 750 break coming in FTFT, should have it almost any second now. Just give you guys a look at the level 2. Yeah, there wasn't much of anything down there, guys. It just held. Maybe like 30 or 40,000 shares were on that bid before it just held it. So not much there. I just got triggered into some of it at 48, but I'm going to see if I can't pick some more shares up here because I didn't see a gigantic bid for support. And Fubo, I did get some out already. I will reload one more time off VWAP, otherwise I'm waiting for 23.
Yeah, just waiting. 240. I don't want to let this thing go too far back down here as the NASDAQ comes tracing back down. Okay, so we did take some profits on Neo as it went. We got out some 10s, 11s, 12s, but then it dumps right back down and we get out on the low of the day there, that 79 break. So now we're flat on Neo and it's just not working out. MU, good trade too, man. We made it back. Like, remember we said that it was getting a little overexhausted here, overheated, I guess, to the upside 94.20. That's where we got out of our long. And now we took another one on 93.70, out 85, out 88, and now we're going to wait to see if it dips below this 93.50, which it looks like it will, and then we'll get out of that one. So small cuts now, but still making money. It's all good. Okay, Palantir. We did it again, but we'll wait to see if we can get out this time. We did buy some 38s. Last time we went as low as 33s. We just took 38s right now. Let's see if we get some out near this 50 mark. That should be a good trade for, oh, here comes the NASDAQ, so watch out below. We are going to average into Palantir, and I'm not holding it through 23, guys, even though there are some lower levels here, but we're going to average into 23. If this NASDAQ pukes, Palantir's already come from 21 2 days ago, so I don't have too much upside love for you anymore, Palantir, if the market comes downside. So we're protecting these levels for now, and it's been a good trade. So there it goes, another win for us. So little Superman action on Palantir today as it just goes, buy the dips, buy the dips, buy the dips, and it keeps to be working out nicely for us. Micron comes out, so flush, well, I mean, it shouldn't have come, I mean, I guess it, did it break? I guess it did. You know, whether or not it should have come out or not, they're 93.50 breaks, and we are out of Micron now. So Micron, my number one stock, actually Microsoft, my number one stock, followed by, I mean, Micron and Palantir are neck and neck. So Neo does turn red for me on the day, so we are gonna go 3 for 4 as it looks like it's getting some life back. Do I test this again?
So I got in to Micron, and we talked about this level here, that double top at like 95. We pushed into it. It got close, 94.30, 94.38, and then a bit of a reversal. When it broke that shelf at 93.50, that's my entry into the short. So this time, look, you learn from your mistakes in real time. Had the nice secondary short. I did take off like half of it as it got down towards that, you know, that 440. It broke down, got to like that 440 range, which we talked about. But I'm not going to hold it through another halt. When I see it make that volume spike to the upside, out, only take a 10-cent hit on the rest of those shares, and then you get another halt to the upside. I have no trouble digging into this one. I almost wanted to take out this 534 and do something crazy like get to 6 even and then play off of that. As I mentioned, got into Micron. We also got that FTFT trade. So it initially broke that 750. I showed you guys level 2. There really wasn't much of a bid down there, but it popped anyway. So I'm like, okay, well, there's not much. So I shorted more shares at 57. Now it's starting to work its way down. I got some for the quick 10-cent scalp. I'll take some more out for like the 15, 20. And I'm sort of looking at this level here, post 7. When 7 a.m., you get that little ramp to the upside. It did stall out the bigger move right here at this next level. I'm bidding it to 730. And then there was a dip into 7 even. So I like 730s as the next target, and then 7 even for the rest of this move. So if I can get like 40 to 50 cents, I'll be pretty happy with the rest of that trade. I'm being patient with Fubo this time. We got some profit out at the highs. We got a bunch out on the way up from 50 to 70s. I reloaded once in front of VWAP, and then I got out at 75. I still have, now of course it's going to show my average price last in at 48, but really the amount that I'm taking out here is what I added back into it at 50. That's the strategy. What I'm holding now is the core position from the longs down at the bottom. That's the way you want to think about that trade. So yes, I am taking breaks at 24. Yes, I like buying those dips, but those are all scalp trades. What I want to hold on to is the core long at 23 because that's my level. So if Fubo breaks 23, I'll be done with that trade, at least in the short term. There could be some dip buys there, but it's probably going to be an active one all session long. We've shown you that stock, if you look at the daily chart, so much potential room to run. I want to have something almost all day long. If 23 breaks, I'll look for another re-entry point. I just feel like this little base out that it's made gives you all kinds of moves, especially if it gets to and breaks that 25, Sean.
Yeah, I like 100% good talk there. Like Fubo is one of those trades for us today, so let's wait on it. I'm trying to average. I mean, you can see this is a big position there for me. My average price right now is 28 on Palantir. So right now, so here we go. Decent position. We are, you know, if you want to talk about loading up on something here, we will get ready to do this. If it breaks through 23, we lose. We'll give back some of our day. It's been a good day for us no matter what, but this is getting ready, man. We're getting ready to that 23 level. Let's see if it holds. If the NASDAQ can just hold out, I think we got a big one. And just to give an update, it looked like a good out when we took it. I just tweeted this out. We did try to hold Microsoft as much as we can. We give back a little bit from the high, about 60 cents there, but we get out at 84 there on the break back to the downside. So just, you know, we saw the NASDAQ go down, getting a little nervous. It was a good day yesterday for the NASDAQ, so we're already loading into Palantir. I don't need this to drop as well. So we're out of our last 10% or so of Microsoft. So that was actually, I think it was about 15% left there, trying to hold a little bit of that loved name for me. But let's give it over to Brendan. ripping right now.
Another one to look at, guys. XL Fleet. We talked about it yesterday, right at the end of the show. They reported earnings after market yesterday. Got flushed all the way down to 8 here. Just popping back up on a volume scanner here for me. Around this 810 to 8. Big time area right now of support for XL Fleet. Guys.
Yeah, buddy. We talked about that yesterday, like you just mentioned there. Let's have a quick look at it. I liked an XL Fleet for the bust higher just because of how bad it's been performing. Lately. So, come on, charts, let's go. Here's the 1 minute range here, down to 8. Yeah, good level there, Brendan. If you mentioned that $8 level there, a good little level, good hold. A tank yesterday off earnings, right down to that $8 level. Now we're still hovering there and holding it. So to me, this is a breakout potential right now. It's already made its base. I don't really want to go long here in case we do test the bottoms again, but I think we could get jiggy with this thing at 836. So let's see, 12 more pennies and we'll take a long. And if we get in the long, we'll analyze our out at that point. But for 836 right now, I like the breakout on this name. If we can, Brendo, find out maybe about the short percentage on this one. But down to 836, check out a daily chart here. Yeah, we're at all-time lows for XL Fleet. Wow, like talk about getting stuck, man. Wow. Oh, shoot. Like, people stuck here at 20 for sure. This is a beautiful level, but you had to know to get out if it broke the IPO price, right? So I don't know if this was a SPAC or not. I don't think so. But XL right now, 1769. Yeah, I like an 836 break, guys. Yuck. Oh, man, that bar coding there really hurt, but you don't hold it through there. So, wow, there goes Palantir. A nice move back to the upside, guys. The NASDAQ, we alive, as they say on the NASDAQ. Screw you, NEO, still going to the upside. We should have held those longs on this stock. NEO, we had these longs. We just got out. What's up?
I'm going to hit it here, guys. Back to normal. Well, not for ACY, which just halted to the upside again. I'm not caught in it this time. And so the last couple times, we've dodged the bullet there. Micron, and I talked about wanting to fade Micron today into that double top. Showing you the 15-minute chart so you can see in perspective. There just wasn't a trade until it made the test, at least of this level at 94, right? So it's got to take out, or at least try to take out that lower high from that little 95 double top that we pointed out. It does make that play. It slams right back in here, as you can see when I zoom in. Slams back in, you get a single wick, and you get the 93.50 break. Am I going to always take some out in front of VWAP? Sure. My next bid's down here in front of 92.50. I'd look for this 92 bottom to certainly take. Look, if it's going to give me $1.50 in front of that, I'm going to take it for sure. Because there's always a 92 bottom break where you can add to your position or retracement short into VWAP. That can also be part of your plan. So we like it when things go to plan. I'll tell you right here, guys. We showed you. I got caught in a hole today. Got burned on it, breaking one of my rules, missed 2 fantastic opportunities I had planned out because I had to manage that trade. But jump back on the horse. I knew where my setups were. I knew what I wanted to do with Micron when it came in, so no trouble getting back into that one. I actually thought for a second that Fubo was going to give me, see this wick down here? I thought, what did I just say to you guys? I'm not going to get more shares at VWAP. It's likely to be this defense at 23 where I'll pick some more up. So when it broke, I didn't get any. It came down to 30s. I did one time start this in front of 30s, but try to be a bit more patient here. That might have been the wrong call, as I have not been able to add to the Fubo position. So for short that, I still have some of that FT to the short side, waiting for the reopen on ACY. The only long is that Fubo, and of course Micron. I wanted to fade that one. Just thought it was too far to the upside, and there were probably better names that people wanted to rotate into on this kind of a day where Micron was double topping.
Okay, so QS, guys, actually comes all the way down to our price. So now it's nervousness time. I was not expecting to get filled here, but we did put this bid down here to watch out for 50. It hits 50 and bounces. So let's take a little bit off if we can. Upside now, where are we long? 21s? It just went to, where did it go to there? 50s or 40s there. So let's take a little piece off if we can here on QS into the 30s. I don't know if this breaks through 50 or not. Longer term, here's a 3-minute chart. QS down to 49 is where we got to wait for it, but it looks like it will break through 50 soon. So yeah, 49.50 maybe is our kill spot there. 49.50 on QS, guys. We're going to give it a little bit. There it is. We take a little piece out right there at that 50 mark as the NASDAQ continues to go higher. So a nice little win on QS here. And I think Neil said he was going short on Micron. That looks like
already. Yeah, I'm already short.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're short on Micron. I'm taking the long here, just using this 92.80 spot as an out. So, good call on that one. I'm trying it again. Palantir, though, that's the ripper right now, guys. Look at this. Bang, I told you it was a big position down there, and it is. So there it is. We take out the big stick and tell you about it. Palantir, let's get some out right now, 47s. Bang, there it is. Welcome to the jungle, guys. Money bag central, let's go.
One thing I told you guys that I'm going to be looking out for in the next few sessions is some pullbacks and some value names. Just noting through 25, and look at this top here. This is recent high on U.S. steel at 24.70. I think if we hold below this level, good chance in this couple sessions you pick up some at 22, which I'm going to absolutely love. Fubo, come on, give me like some 20s and 30s. That's what I've been trying to get here on Fubo, but I guess he doesn't want to give it to me. FT, on the other hand, you don't need the daily chart. I need to show you the minute chart here, guys. It is still leveling off. So there was that 50 break, muted, gave you that first little scalp area. Now it's consolidating lower. I got tricked into the fact that it gave me 57s, sort of a better price on that break. So I didn't come back in at 50, which was the original price I had. Maybe a bit of a mistake because I could have already scalped that out for a 10-cent win. If it does flush, I've given you some of the levels I like to the downside on that name. And 1 minute until that ACY opens up, guys. When that opens, I'm going to go back to the same sort of halt reopen play that we usually do here. If it opens downside, shy of 6 even here, then I like to short off of that high of day, but you have to have a stop. I always say, as a stock goes up parabolic, you can like a price, but everything is out the window if that price is the price that it could halt at, which is the mistake that I made here at 470. I like the price. I can show you why in the pre-market. That made sense to me, but it was too far too fast. You cancel those orders when the stock moves away from you because you don't want to catch it into a halt. So just keep that in mind, guys. Micron, nothing wrong here. I mean, it's sort of working towards plan. But as I mentioned, I will take some off in front of that 950, anticipating I could have a better shot at VWAP retracements around that 93 if it wants to hang out down here.
Yeah, good call there. I just got stopped out on Micron, so a good little long there for short there for you for sure. Okay, QS though, guys, big time. I mean, the money just keeps coming in here today for me. QS, another long down here at 50.20. It's having a real hard time breaking this 50-50 level. So now we only have 40% left, and we've dumped it all. So we've dumped 60% here for about a 25 cent win on QS. And again, it just doesn't look like it wants to get going. So what am I supposed to do? If I'm going to give it to 49.50, I will take another piece. But the market did rip here, and QS off that Volkswagen investment. Beautiful day, man. I just wonder if there's some profit taking, because you got to consider where stocks have come from, right? 41, 42. So there we go. Okay, we break through 50. So let's see now if this can retest. I don't think we go to the day's high, 53 again. But if we can get some action in and around here, 51.20, 51.10 or so, I think that's well worth it and well in our wheelhouse to get out of that trade. So let's just see if we can continue the run up here on QS. Here we go. A nice move. Now we're getting excited as QS goes in the money now, 50 cents. And then Palantir also breaking through 50. So playing this one like a fiddle. What up, Tyrone Bigums? Always mentioning that in the chat. And there we go again. Buy, out, buy and out, buy and out, buy out. So beautiful run upside here for Palantir. Super happy with everything. We just got stopped out. I talked about that with Micron. So good short for Neil, bad long for me. But QS continues to pay the piper off right now. Let's take another piece here as it gets to 50.80.
This is actually kind of cool, guys. I'm going to show you here. Continue to ride the bear on that ACY. It makes that push. Look at this. It opens up, tries to take out that whole price at 6 even, just slams back down. So I love it. My out is now going to be back to that 6. I catch catchers on the way down at 70s. If you heard me say something under my breath, is when I missed a short at 590, but I got 70s. Then it goes into a halt. I actually average into it on the downside halt. I think we can get down to that 5 even. If you see this solid line here, that's just my market on open order. So wherever it opens up, I'm going to take half this position off and then hold the second half. Clearly 440 to 450, which we talked about earlier, would be a level that we take profit in front of. But at that point, that's like $1 in the money. So trying to make that money back on ACY. When you get caught in that halt, of course, that's going to stink, but you got to get back on the horse. We got to get back to Brendo. What's up, buddy?
UTHR, United Therapeutics. This is not by any means a small cap, big drug maker. UTHR up 15%. 192 just broke there, guys. Day highs. FDA approved one of their blood pressure treatments. So positive move there for UTHR.
I thought I just heard a cat.
What was that?
There. What the hell was that? Oh, it was Rob. Yeah, what a surprise. Okay, Microsoft's still at the high side right now. We'll see if this is a possible short now, I'm wondering. We talked about Microsoft going, I mean, I can't believe this move. I mean, I can believe it, but what a great move today. Even off that action, like just a couple days ago, Microsoft, like you can't get any better of a stock. I mean, I love Microsoft if you guys don't know that already, but cannot believe the kind of move that it's had right now. Up to 241. I mean, it's a $22 billion contract. That's big boy stuff. So 242, the new high. Not even sure why we got out. Well, I talked about why. I did think the NASDAQ was going to give some back. But remember, man, it was 1.1%. And we said this was a big NASDAQ day. That's why you're seeing like a lot of this come through. Microsoft, we went long on Microsoft early. We went long on Palantir, but Micron, we went long on that early. Just a couple missteps right there, but still the profits are there. Okay, now XL Fleet. Okay, now we again, like, why did I play this breakout? We talked about it down here, so I could have easily had 20 cents the easy way, but now it's breaking back out. So here we go. We're taking XL Fleet. Oh, Brendan, did you find out the short percentage on that? If you did, and I missed it, my bad. But I think we can hold this one now. I don't know. I would love for Brendan to say it's like 90% short. Obviously, that's not going to be the truth.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the truth. 5.7.
Well, it's not nothing.
It's not nothing. But I was hoping for maybe, you know, a little more than that. But here we go. Nice little move. Can't complain. Up to 48. We're long 42s. So a nice little move here. Looks like we've called this one pretty good. Let's get some off here near 50. Whoopsies. We'll get some out here at 50 and then see what happens. It's bouncing off.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 75-cent win here, and we'll go with the pound.
Wow.
Look, you can go both ways on that Micron trade. We both had different ways to execute that trade, and both can work out. Just got 92.70. Go back to this previous pre-market high. Some consolidation down there. I'm still holding on. See if we can't get those 92s. And, of course, ACY is halted. It hasn't opened back up. So I will get some shares out, like I said, no matter what. If I hold into a halt position, there's no way that I'm not covering something, whether it's up or down on that reopen. It just makes sense to me. It's a nice liquidity event for you to be able to get some shares out. This time I actually do get more of FTFT when it gets to that 750 mark. So playing the patience game a little bit, but I don't want to go too far when it comes to that. I feel like we've ignored, at least to a certain extent, MBIS. Yeah, this was me saying, let's wait for 17s on a pushback. 1683 it goes to. So it is what it is. I mean, I wanted to fade this one all morning long. This is one that I had on the list for me to take the shorts on. I just never got into position on this name. Got caught up, of course, trading things that are more important. And there is the open on ACY. Just opened, I looked just shy of that 5 even. So the first entry out, the second entry I had at 536, that's basically break even. I want to hang on to that, see if that can't flush to the downside. But MBIS, if it comes to VWAP, I'll play that to the short side again. But got to be patient because we've missed the early move.
Okay, so XL Fleet, yeah, good talk there on MVIS. XL just waiting here. Got some out. We got along through 42, out 52, out 54. Thought it was going to rip higher. We do have some offers. You know, let's cancel this one. I had a 59 out there. Let's cancel that. Let's see if we can get back upside now on XL Fleet. Was really upset about that 5% number, but hey, we'll take it. I mean, right now we're 15. Well, we were 15 cents in the money. Edge X now trying to push this guy down. So let's see if that can get blown out. Look at the market coming back down. We have gotten out of our Palantirs. Now we have that 10% left. So a nice move to the upside here. Took some out right at VWAP. Just took some out right now at 47. We're not going to let this one fade in, but you know what we'll be doing if it goes back to the downside. Brendan, let's recap some small caps with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Very, very choppy morning so far with some of these names that we've been talking about over the past hour or two. If you're looking at FTFT, 8 was, you know, the obvious high from the pre-market. It did give you pretty good long initially if you tried it twice. That one didn't work out too well because it came all the way back through the range and is now looking to try and break some of these support levels. So working its way back to the downside for FTFT, still up significantly. JAGX was another one that was up in the pre-market. If you did not catch this little pop back towards 220, wasn't much in it. Volume already dying off on JAGX. Up on some positive data. This one as well, trying to be patient with UXIN. 150 ends up being the level there for UXIN. If this does break to new highs, we'll give it a shot in that direction. But yeah, pretty choppy, guys, for small cap roll today. Back over to you.
Okay. Yeah, what up? Oh, it's Merchandise Friday, even though it's Thursday here. You can see I'd rather be trading. Shout out to Daryl, who got all the stuff and even made his gaming chair, his trading chair, I'd rather be trading chair. So that was a good one there. Thank you so much, Daryl, for all of the love you've given to us and to Russell as well for tweeting out some of the merch that you've bought from us. This is what's the way to support the show, guys. Okay, there it is. Did we just get filled? Boom! Nice little fill there, man. We took some out on QS. You can see where our average price is right now. We just got out there at 50 on QS. Good trade there to go to the high side. Let's see if it can continue, though. Not sure about this one, guys. It just bounced off 50 again. We'll put another order there. Is it still QS I'm watching? Yes, through 50. We'll see if it can go to the high side now. If it breaks through 49.50, we're out, man. So let's wait to see. But a nice little take on that bid. So right now we're long 76. It's not doing a hell of a lot. And there it is. That's why we take some out on XL there. I was waiting for that 59 to break. Thought it would. We pulled our order. So I was at 59. Does not get the high of the day, but we take a nice little trade there. May dump a little bit more on QS. Or sorry, on XL here, but we're only at the money now, so now it's just bouncing around. So maybe if we can get a 50 print, we'll take that again and then see if it takes out this high of 55, 56 later on. But here it comes right back to 50, so a good little trade. And here comes QS right back. Where am I waiting? I'm waiting at 98. There it is. Boom! Another one, guys. So yeah, the money just keeps on flowing through today for us. And another one, buy outs. So making that money today. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day here. Let's just see if the money can keep coming through. We did dump our Palantir, though. Actually, this was a mistake. I didn't mean to get out of both of these. I layered some orders there, and they just both filled on a move up. So we're flat on Palantir. But hey, the money bags that is Palantir keeps on printing, guys.
And I'll go with this one because it's sort of fitting, the plane crash, guys. It was a plane crash for me. I talked about that whole trade, but like I said, get back on the horse, stick to your plan. We get the short. Actually, no halt in here on the downside for ACY, but 70 short, add in when it opens back up. Cover the 70s on the reopen. We take the 35-cent win, but also got that on the reopen. Took half out for like a 45-cent win here, and then I'm holding on to the rest for that 440 bottom. So basically back into plan. Like it's just one of those, don't get away from what works for you just because you're basically chasing a mistake or you're angry. The stock doesn't care. Just the same way when like you buy a stock for the long term, the market doesn't care what price you got, and you just have a long or a short, and you have to manage it. Actually, as a matter of fact, one of the cool things that one of our former managers on the floor back in the day used to like to do here is a watch out FTFT making a move into VWAP. I'll fade that one if it holds 780. I'll definitely cover it, break 785. One thing he used to do to trainees when they were in simulation mode, get them into a position and just say manage it. It wasn't your decision to get in. You just have these shares now, and what do you do with it? It was sort of a tool saying the market doesn't care what you wanted to happen. This is where you're at right now, so forget about all that and just take action. Follow your plan. Do what makes sense to you for a risk point standpoint. Now, trying to get into FTFT on this little reversal here. I've been scalping out in front of 740. I want to add into these little, pops up into VWAP, but also there was this heavy consolidation that I missed. Now, I shorted these prices the first time in the 70s, didn't do it the second time. I will the third time here. And Micron, still holding above 92. We're about 70 cents in the money. Hasn't really gone any further than that. I do still like that short in 92 even. I'll probably like the 92 break if the market's rolling over. But the NASDAQ not showing too many signs of capitulation here at the top. I mean, we're 100 points off that break from 13.2, but basically haven't done anything since.
Yeah, Micron was a good one for me early and a good one for me late right now. Appears to be QS because right now, 60 cents. QS just rockets up my board right now for profitable trades. We gave you that 49.50 level. I told you all day that we were going to defend that level, 49.50, so we do that. And now let's reward ourselves here and get some out. 19s, did we get that print there? No, we did not. So we're offering, there we go. We offered 19s and we got that one. So a nice 50-cent win there for QS. Let's see how high it wants to fly now. We are almost out of it, though. Now we hold, now that 20% left of this position. Going to give it back to 49.50, but can't lose on this name today. Been a good name. Been a good day today. Both sides, short and longs, and I hope we've covered them well for you guys. Brendan?
This one, guys, we were talking about yesterday, NCTY, the 9, big move down, if you remember, on an offering. Trying to bounce here this morning. Again, disregard the hole in my chart. We are missing some data. 35, though, just getting broken there once again on huge volume, guys, for NCTY.
The 9, and I think we talked a little bit about Funko was on the watch list. I don't know how deep we got into it. Just popping up my radar here. This is a previous high at 24.80. Almost making a double top here. Look, you got that long. Someone asked in the chat, it's like, what should I do with it? It's like, well, I mean, double top. You take some profit off if you got it. It's already been on a monster run. The news has just come out that they're getting in the NFT game, which has some helium to it, which I think bears noticing. You want to make sure you're taking profits in areas like that. So it's on my radar to go short. It just made the push to that 25, which I was waiting for. I'd like to see consolidation. I mean, I'm not really likely to get it because that's the 15-minute here. I'm not likely to basically get it back at that 24.50. I'm more looking at this area here, which was opening range top 23.80. I'll probably have to start on a breakdown at that level as opposed to thinking I'll get some at 24.50 here. And it's got about a 10-cent spread, so do be careful with it. It's $24 stock. A bit spready in relative terms here, even though the volume and liquidity is fantastic. You got to pay that spread.
Spready. Okay, and guess what happened again, guys? If you put it in the chat without me telling you, you are right. Yes. Bang! There it is again, guys. A nice little wheelbarrow time action on Palantir. Like, how easy, Valeria? How easy, Valeria? Does this have to be for Palantir today? Another bid right there at 36. Out 45 there, so another move to the high side, man. We just keep on trucking with these names, guys. I wanted to see. Let's check back quickly, if I can. Let's go into the profile. How many? Let's get to 17,000 if we can. Thanks for the love here. That's still funny as hell. Okay, let's check. This is what I want to check out here. So today, I'll put this in the chat right now for you guys. Let's get some more votes here. How many votes do we have? Almost 500. All right. So Workhorse leading the way right now, and yeah, you're right, guys. I mean, we could have put CCIV. I told you why we don't have NIO or Tesla or anything on here. These are recent EV companies. So let's just wait to see Nikola. I'm still surprised. Oh, that's gotten higher. It was 11.1. So
I
now
think some people,
11.6.
April Fools, man. I think some people are having fun with that Nikola.
Valeria, don't break the equipment over there. Okay, Fisker, Lordstown, Workhorse, Nikola, guys, make your vote now, and let's see. I'm going to review this. There's only 2 hours left, so it's going to expire at the end of the show. So let's see. Well, wait a minute. There's only 1 hour left in the show, but we'll wait to see on that one. But XL Fleet, just to give you guys an update, man, we're out. Just if it cracks VWAP, I'm going to give it a little bit more, down to 820. So if that happens, then see ya. We gone on XL Fleet if it does break through 1819. Otherwise, man, I'm just going to wait for highs of the day again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Wait. You got those good looks. You want to make sure you're patient with them. FTFT, I am waiting for it to flush down. I did add more shares here on the shorts at that 770 area. And I'm trying to be very patient with Micron. Of course, it is still, it's grinding lower here. I have to notice, I mean, I'm literally bidding in front of this 92, right where that flush at the open sort of consolidated. That might be a tad greedy. Maybe I should be paying up to like the 25 to the 30 range, something up here, especially if I do intend on, which I do, I want to get back into a short if it does pop, guys. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, if we can resist this move into 93, is just prop the bid up like 20 cents or so, and make sure we actually get it out if it holds those levels, and VWAP in particular, guys. So I still like the Micron short, going to hang on to it. I just picked up some more Fubo as it finally, I mean, it took forever, but it finally made its way back down to that those 23 lows. So I haven't done anything since this little dip buy in the scalp trade where we picked it up at 59 and then got some out at 75. Waited all the way for it to come back to the quarters, and it finally has. So reloading in Fubo, I like that one at 23. We've been talking about that more or less all morning long here. And that Funko, trying to break here, that 2380 that I told you guys I liked, and I'm just really going off of this previous high. I like to short those when they come through. I had one of those yesterday. I'm going to do the same thing here. I do believe, was that Brendan?
Yeah, there we go. 45 minutes, guys. Stick around. Don't go anywhere because we're very excited to have SoFi coming through. Yeah, that SoFi is going to be on the show. John Gardner, general manager, going to come through, talk about some latest additions to their platform, including the ability to trade IPOs before they even hit the market. What is going on? Yeah, we'll talk to John Gardner coming up, general manager of SoFi. Stick around for that. Let's get a check on European markets in the meantime. What's up, V?
Hey Brandon, European markets started the new quarter from gains supported by a new US government spending plan. Delivery here trading in Germany is up more than 4% after Dutch tech investment company Prosus NV raised its stake in the company. Back to you.
Yeah, it's a positive one across the pond. We're trying to get positive here right across the board to kick off a new quarter, guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, SoFi, that is exciting, man. Big company coming through. We will see.
That's an awesome opportunity. But.
Yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity for them and for us to give it to you. So thank you, Brendan, for bringing that up. Those of you, SoFi, you know them. They've been on other networks, and there's a lot of ties there with various things, IPOE and stuff like that. So it's a big one. Chamath, there's a lot of stuff happening there with SoFi. So we're going to have them on. 23.20 here. So just to give you guys a little love here, we are now trying right now to break through here. So we just took another average in right now. So, I mean, we dumped our position there. You can see this price is 27. What am I long on now? 28.5. So right here is right where we're at. It does go back to 30. We're going to still defend this 23. I am dropping this thing. I'm not holding it through 23. So if 23 does break, we will average into this trade as Palantir's been good. But again, man, it was weak. Let's not just get like rose-colored glasses here. We know, we've talked about Palantir the last couple of weeks, that it was weak into NASDAQ strength, okay? So it's bounced back nicely here. These are not heavy positions. I will put on a bigger one as we get closer to 23. So my bids right now, 23 14s and 15s, and that's about it, man. I don't have any other bids. So we'll wait to see if we can get down into there. I'm comfortable taking that. We've taken more than 15 cents. Like this was gonna be the same size as my last one. So these wins, were 20, 30 cents. So if the last one does fall down, sure, we'll lose on that trade, but we'll still be positive today on Palantir. So we haven't rewarded ourselves enough to take on big shares. So we'll wait to see 23.15 into that on Palantir is going to be the trade for us. And then QS just bouncing around. We could have took that dollar. We didn't. Now we're going to have to wait to see if it does break through 49.50 here as the market kind of giving up some here. I'm sure your Micron trade is doing well.
That's okay. I mean, it got about that dollar in the money. I moved up my bid, but I also had like two ways that I like that Funko. The other way is going to get taken out here. I wanted to break down at 23.80, and of course, I'm watching more closely FTFT because I got to stop through Funko. If it takes out 25, I don't care about high days when they're like 89 or 90. I'll get it out at the even every single time. But I'm more working this FTFT trade, which is, get into some at VWAP, get some out in front of 50. So again, like 10, 15 cent type scalps. If I'm going to do that, I don't really want it breaking past that 780 on me, guys. So I am watching that one on the level 2. I want to make sure I'm getting profits out on the way down. So I'm not doing this thing for you. You guys know what that is. But Funko, on the other hand, tests the top. I get some short. It then breaks 25, which I'm always going to do. And keep this is not always, you don't have to trade this way if you don't want to. But I don't like that 24.88 to use it as level. I'll always give it that extra little bit of room, especially when I mentioned the stock has a 10-cent spread. And when I see it break at 25 and not go, wick me out, I basically get right. I almost do this every single time. I almost always get right back in and say, I'll give it a little bit of extra room this time. I'll give it to the quarters now. If it's going to give you a failed break at a double top and an even level like that, I'm going to jump back into the shares. If I risk like 20 to 30 cents on a stock which can move $2, and I have a chance to jump back in when maybe it just ran some stops and do the same thing, maybe risk a few extra cents on the trade. In this particular case, because I happen to get a solid price here at 84s, I'm only actually risking like 30 or 40, so it's not that much more. But I want to give this one to the quarters just because I like failed breakouts if I think this is a level that's going to be a good one. And I did identify that 25 when we talked earlier in the session.
This is really making me sick because Microsoft just keeps on going up. And I don't want to buy. I mean, I'm so happy. I think Microsoft probably took out Google now for my largest holding. I think it was Disney, but Disney's come back down now. So Microsoft in the RRSP, the 401k account there, Microsoft, I think today, probably taking that over. We were buying low on this name in the 220s, and now we're ripping to the upside. You got to buy stock, guys. Like I tweet these things out when I make these purchases, so hopefully you guys are able to follow a little bit. Okay, there is 23.20 26 there. We got, no, what was my average price? 28. So now, yeah, now it's 27s. So we dumped some there at 34. A good spot. I don't know. I mean, we took another 8 pennies. Do I wish for more? Do I wish that, Palantir would give us, the holy grail and this thing just rip up? Yes. But we've traded. This is what Neil and I talk about this all the time. So does Brendan. I mean, it's part of your playbook, right? You have to go back to the stocks that you've been watching. There's a reason why I was confident at that level on Microsoft. There's a reason why we keep doing this on Palantir as here it comes back down. But this is the thing, you have to understand how your stock trades. I've watched Palantir over and over again. We had a big trade yesterday. If I can show you guys the monster trade. Yesterday we were defending right here. We took a huge long here yesterday and held it all. It was a big move off this 23. We did not scalp. We were waiting for 23.50 to break. When that did, it was a big upside move. But look at today. It's not like I can't be long into this market here with Palantir and not scalp some out. It's not even testing VWAP. Yesterday, we were above VWAP when this move was happening. Look, VWAP's not even here yesterday. So that's the difference. We're below VWAP now. I consider ourselves lucky anytime this moves up. So yeah, I'm going to continue to do this, man. Just scalp out. And then if we get down to 23.15, then that's sort of the go spot for me. I've explained that over and over. So hopefully you guys can understand some of the logic that I'm having here. And that's how I'm trading. And I've slowed down on the names, man, today. It's only like 6 or 7 names. So, we're very confident in how we're trading. I did see a super chat, and I do want to get back to that. Where was it? I think it's disappeared. Here it is right here. I will talk about PaySafe in a minute, Justin. So let's talk about that. I'm never going to ignore these super chats, and if I do, hopefully Valeria will get my attention, and we can grab those. But right now, it's Brendan. What's up?
Yeah, real quick, just wanted to mention Funko, guys. Through 25 there, had just a monster print that went off at 25. We're coming back off of that, but we did break 25. So 52-week highs for FNKO.
And if it touches like 24.30, I'm going to go for like a 50-cent win on the first third of that position on that Funko. I love those fail breaks, and I'm glad you mentioned that one, Brendan. You get a key level like that. There's a lot of people that have like a short stops. I was short in front of it, so my stop got triggered. But some people that are like, breakout long, baby. Then they're long here, and the stock's up 25% at possibly the high of the day. The weak hands, and when you're shorting something like this counter trend, your play is against the weak hands. Like, you're not sitting there saying, oh, this stock is going to come back to 22 on this move. No, I want to play off of the weak hands that are going to give it up into VWAP here, and I'm going to take that because it's a tight stop trade. And I just mentioned someone in the chat was saying, oh, yeah, the stock's going to go to $30 today. If this move only gives me to that 23.80 where I liked the breakdown trade before, it holds this level throughout lunchtime, yeah, I mean, I'll probably take a 25 break on the second time through if those conditions are met. For now, I like the tight stop shorts. That's just the way I like to play it. Gonna go back over to that FTFT. It's starting to, I mean, the Funko's now in the money here. That's fine. It's sort of easy to talk about. But we got a bit of another push into VWAP. I got a few more shares here. And then it's still trying to round out holding the 760. So I'm going to throw some bids back above the north side of 750 because, again, if I'm taking 15 to 20 cent scalps, I actually have to have bids down there if I want to catch those fills. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. The whole time I've had bids in this range when I short into this FTFT. And Fubo, the other one that we have the long in, I'm not saying, yeah, FTFT, that's a winner we'll go with. I don't know, the plane crash. But Fubo, I'm not saying I'm going to have it long all day, but if it holds 23, then I'm going to have this one long all day, and hopefully it keeps on giving the money bags the same way FTFT is trying to do here in every single one of those pops. So short the pops there, buy the dips in Fubo, and I think we're going to the big screen for what has to be a blue board, I suppose I should say. Time for sector watching, Brendan.
Yeah, indeed. Positive way to end off the holiday shortened week, guys. Nicely positive, in fact, right across the board. 0.8%, we'll call it. Yeah, 4,004. That's the index, remember? So if you're watching the futures, they're not quite there yet, but overall the index, 4,004 for the S&P. Let's start with tech stocks. Yeah, they are higher on the session, even though we are seeing some struggle, I guess you could say. WDC, Western Digital, we mentioned the news in the pre-market there. Also affecting MU as well, but 5.8%. Nice day for Western Digital. ANET, IPGP as well, 2.5% for both. Software names, basically the whole thing outside of DXC in positive territory. Same story for semis. Really nice day for the semis group. QRVO, MU, ENPH, and AMAT. The leaders so far in that sector. Let's talk about some negativity. I guess I should have showed you this first. Consumer discretionary stocks led by the retailers in negative territory, but there are a few names here having quite the day. Penn National, 3.2% to the upside. MGM, CMG, Win is here, LVS as well, all around 1.5% to 2% to the upside. Financials are also higher. Energy stocks are also higher with a nice bump in crude oil today. OPEC saying they want the cutbacks, production cutbacks to roll over into the next quarter, which is helping that out today. Far corner there, we have consumer staples offsetting to the downside a little bit. And keep in mind, utility and material stocks are also a little bit weak, but nicely higher, guys, 0.8% for the overall index above 4,000. Back over to you.
Oh, you just remind me of something. Am I gonna be kicking myself over this one? Let's see in real time. Yep, 100%. I'm gonna be kicking myself over.
What happened?
Oh, well, okay. First of all, the chart here is kind of a mess on Gantt, so I'm not gonna. Can I go to my daily chart? Yeah, okay. Daily chart's okay. Remember when there was that little dump and we were talking about Penn at $100 and
oh yeah.
And there was a DraftKings as well, and I was like, oh my goodness, you got to be able to pick up Gantt at this price. It was at 17. I didn't. So that kind of sucks. It's now like, this is actually not that bad. Maybe if it consolidates like 18 even, because I'm looking right back to this chop range that it had. Last time it was down here at the end of the year, 15 to 18. Don't cry over spilled milk if you missed that move. They basically software for the gaming space, for the online betting space. So I like this one if it gets back down on that 18 and gives you that consolidation. There you go, FTFT. That's a little bit better, but the other play is, and again, so I want to say this because someone asked about what should they do with Funko in the chat, and it wasn't like I didn't say you should take profit if you're long at 20 because it's like, oh, I want to benefit from the fact that I'm shorting in front of 25. It's more along the lines of when you get a chart like this and you have this extended move into a double top. I mean, it just sort of begs to say, like, if you really, really are convicted, there's probably a way to re-add on a breakout style, and or maybe on a dip in consolidation. You get these big moves, you get that rubber band pullback action oftentimes, and I still believe, as I mentioned earlier, if I don't get any better than this 24 that we just picked up here, so I'm not quite a dollar winner, but 80 cents on the second, third. Like if it doesn't give me any more than that, and I still want to add through 23.80 if it ever breaks this, if it holds this all afternoon or all lunchtime going into power hour, or maybe even slightly before that, I still think there's a 25 breakout. That's exactly the kind of thing that we're probably going to be able to show you live when we start the afternoon show at 3:15. So we start talking about these ideas. Now you get to see some of them in practice. You see fantastic breakouts, secondary moves, or just capitulations that happened in the last hour of the session. So we're able to show you all of that, guys, live, which should be a heck of a lot of fun. It's also fun to see Fubo work out, guys. So we'll go arrows up for this. That's me waiting at 23.25. That's me waiting at 23.18.
23,
I didn't pick any of those guys, but it just tipped back to that 23.50. I still want to wait for it to break VWAP to take shares out in the 60s or 70s. If I get more shares to the long side, then I will take some of it out at 23.50. But this is all about that 23 level for me on Fubo TV, which has been a good one so far. Let's let it continue to ride. As a market, no signs of pulling back here, Sean. None.
No.
The NASDAQ,
It
anyway.
seems to be. Yeah, well, both even. I mean, I don't even have the ES.
We never got 4,000 yet. Not yet.
Yeah, 4,000 on the ES. I don't have it up. Let's check it out right now just to see what's holding up. So right now the NASDAQ is 1.72%. All you got to do is switch this bad boy to ES, and then we switch it over 0.74. So like Neil mentioned, this not going to load. Okay, so let's go back to the NASDAQ because I can't watch a nothing chart. NQ right now. So NASDAQ, yeah, holding up and now starting to pull back a little bit here as we just talked about that. I don't have much risk on right now, so for me it's kind of risk off. We're waiting for Palantir. We got some out there at 35, a light position. We have half of that left. We're waiting for some 15s. We talked about that. QS still dancing. We're still long right here. It's been a good stock, profitable one for us today. And then we took a shot on XL, hoping that percentage short was a little more than 5, and it was 5.7, but that doesn't matter. We took out a nice little win there. Now we're going to hold it. It will be a loser if it breaks back down below 20, but I got to give it to that. Brendan was something.
All right, so I saw the first headline. We talked about OPEC holding. I can show you, this is the first one that came out here. They were going to hold cuts in June, which would theoretically maintain levels on current prices And then right after that, they come out and say, but hey, hold on, we're debating gradual increases of 350,000 up to 4,000 in June. So that led to this. Nice little tank there on heavy volume as well. It's worth noting for crude oil futures, guys.
Yeah, we just got that little pullback here in XOM, but still on a decent trend. I mean, I don't know if you're into trend lines. Obviously, that was a good little dip there. I mean, I don't have to draw it for you, but yeah, sometimes that can work. And that's actually an interesting point, because when you get those like news-based types of items there, and that's obviously what caused the pullback there in XOM when the price goes down, maybe you look for something like a quick little scalp trend line bounce, and you get 15, 20 cents on that move. I guess it's not too surprising that they talk out of both sides of the mouth there. That makes some sense to me. Certainly the Saudis have been hinting at the notion that they might raise, of course, production a little bit. I'm going to go to Funko if I can. Come on.
It's not a .ol.
I know. Oh, there it goes. It just loaded up. The thing is, if you make a mistake one time, it's like you have to like wait a second, and load it up there, because we're moving really fast. I'm changing multiple charts at the same time. This is what I'm looking for here, guys. This is that break at. Oh, there we go. I love it when it happens live for you. You just show you the stop order there. So of course I had two shorts up here. The first we lose on off the high of the day. Failed breakout. If I see a failed break like that at a double top, and it looks good on the daily chart. So 3 reasons I like it. I'm going to short it at the top there at 86. I can be kind of calm because it's kind of working for me here. But it breaks that 23.8, my original entry point. Instead of taking off shares that I'd already taken 2/3, I'm just going to add back into it. Now I want to work into that 23. Even if that's going to be the case, I should have bids down around like 23.50, and then we'll throw something in here. See if we can't take some out in front of 23, and then see if we can hold until 22 even. Now this is the thing, like Funko, when it's gone this far, you do have to think about, I don't think it's going all the way back to 21, but you get like that $4 range. What's halfway between 25 and 21, guys? That's going to be that 23. So will I get bids out in front of 23? Of course I'm going to do that almost every single time, because I love those little numbers like that. And I don't know, my level 2 still on XLM, but Funko, this is more of a profit-taking type of idea, but the other thing is that that failed break at the top. And people that went long, that's just them covering. I mean, that's covering is going to happen here when it breaks this little shelf, like 24.50. I've done that in a pullback before, but also when it breaks down that 23.80, which is the previous low. That's why we like those prices. That's where longs are going to sort of give up the ghost when they took that 25.01 and 25.05 long. And that's what you're playing off of when you're counter trend. You're basically betting against people that have added late to the long position or have held it from the morning and have a trailing stop in. That's the bet. You're not against the long-term bulls because they're holding on maybe for a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Our QS, though, we didn't hold on too long to that one, as that comes to the downside right now, QS. So we just got out of that on that 49.50 break. Might have been premature.
Well, that's
might have been premature. I'm hearing some construction work in the background at the office. 49. Okay, so that would, definitely not working out. QS there, so we dumped that. Still a profitable stock, but again, like me and Neil say, man, you got to stick to your rules. And if it's going to break a level, then we're going to get out. Palantir. Okay, so we just got some 15s. Now we're going to wait to get some 14s. I don't know why I'm bidding 14 and 15, but hey, I'm not going to punch this if I'm already bidding there. There we go. Are we long now? No, we're not. Because we're on Edge X and Edge X. There it is. So now we're long. Now we're going to wait, man. This is the level that we wanted. And we were thinking negatively on Palantir today because it's below this VWAP. But if I don't defend this 23 level, then I just feel like I'm missing the trade or the opportunity. Whether or not it prints or not will be up to everybody. So we'll see if it goes to the upside here. But nice little long here on Palantir. Let's take a little bit off as we just took those 14s. It goes right to 21. So we'll try to do Scalp City again on Palantir. Looks like it's holding that 20. Print. Look at all the D prints right here, guys. If the market goes, and there it is. Nice little win there on Palantir. Let's see if it can keep going up.
Let's go money. FTFT, ring the register. It finally breaks the shelf here at 735. I take some more shares off. This is all about the rollover trade. It's pretty clear to see if you can't figure out the mistake on this chart, you haven't been paying attention to the show. I should have been short when it made this consolidation at 770 to 775. I did not. I shorted the down break instead. That worked out, but I didn't compound that mistake by shorting more at the 750 on the way up. I waited for it to consolidate here, guys. So that's what patience is going to look like. It's the patience that I didn't have in ACY, and it's not like I'm not dwelling on the bad here. I'm just simply saying if you guys are going to be, a lot of people are going to be trading stocks that had those big percentage moves, right? So I got to show you this because it's a hard rule and a hard rule is something I should always follow. A hard rule saying if I like an area short, which I did like this, around that 460, 470. There was a big push to the downside in the stock. Chapter 11 declared a couple sessions ago, guys. But I like that short, not when it's basing out at 410 and the move into the open or right at the open, which is like 10, 15% too fast, is likely to cause a halt. You never want to get stuck like that. So I essentially get caught right when it halts into that trade and then get absolutely burned. Able to make some of that back. I will not be up on this stock today. Despite the fact that I had a fantastic short here, I tried to make a move through 480. I only able to get like a 50-cent win on both legs of it before stopping out essentially just past that break-even point. Not break-even point, but that stop area, that stop price originally that 510, guys. So I only make like 15, 20 cents on that little bit of a leg. Had it capitulated, fine. I would have gotten that 420. It would have looked fantastic. But this will be a losing stock for me. But it's a good lesson to learn. And anytime you can learn a lesson from someone else's mistakes, it'll make me happy because then I feel a little bit less bad about it. Fubo, on the other hand, not too much trouble. I'm probably going to need the NASDAQ, well, the overall market to break and punch through these highs, maybe to get me through that 2350. So I'm going to be a little bit less aggressive buying the dip at this time of day. So you're going to see me actually in real time cancel my deeper bid because I don't want to load up just as much if I'm getting the long and the low on Fubo as the market is making a retracement from the high of the day, guys. So it's not that I'm not going to buy back into it. I am. It's just not going to buy as many shares back into this one as the market is turning off at these highs.
All right, it's money talk time with Brandon at the big screen. Let's check out some crypto movements.
Hey guys, yeah, not terribly active today. We did see a nice little move up there initially on Bitcoin, but yeah, basically flat at this point. Anyways, 58,000. About 900 for Bitcoin. Ethereum still down a little bit as well, about 0.5%, holding above 1900 though. And Ripple is positive 0.3%. You can see pretty quiet really as far as currencies are concerned. Overall, there's a little bit of US dollar strength coming back in after that speech from Biden last night. Euro 0.3% though to the upside. You can see Canadian dollar was higher initially. It has gone negative on the day, 0.13, 79.5 for the Canadian dollar. British pound is still 0.35% to the upside. Japanese yen, Swiss franc, both negative on the day. Australia and New Zealand slightly higher as well. Overall, pretty quiet though. I threw the British pound up here just to kind of highlight this support area. We talked about these congestion zones. It works across all asset classes. We're starting to bounce off of that prior resistance area on the British pound, trying to work back to the upside. Back over to you guys.
Yay, Brendan. Thank you so much for that. We're going to fry up some profits over here. I'm going to show you guys Micron because I failed to show you getting out of that last little bit. And of course, I talked about moving my order a little bit up. Remember, I was actually bidding in front of like 92.20 here. We got that breakdown short 93.50. And then it stalled out at 93.40. And I said to myself, okay, let's move the bid up. I think it might pop on me here. The market's still a little bit strong. So I end up getting that bottom at 40. So we take not quite the $1.50 winner that we wanted. We get like $1.10 on the last of it. I do miss the reload at 93.50 because I was trading over in Funko. It's going to happen. I mean, Funko is going to work out for me, and I'll go back to that in a second. But that's the kind of thing that if you're only trading one stock, right? If I was only trading on Micron, certainly it's a very, very similar setup on a rollover. I'm probably going to have this 93.50 area, guys. I don't get it. It looks like it's still a good price. If it comes back, I'm definitely going to take it. Speaking of Funko, some fun is it just holds this range. Now, if I see it consolidating this range at this time of day, I like playing off of VWAP if I can. So I'll again scalp some shares out in front of 23.50 and then see if I can't get back into the short side. As long as 24 wants to hold, I will like this one just as well.
Okay, so we are getting to about that time right now. Yeah. As we took some out at the quarters there on Palantir. You probably saw that, but it's coming downside. So, look at the NASDAQ come down. We know Palantir is weak. It's actually down 1% now. So here comes the NASDAQ. It's rifling down. 23 is our out on Palantir. Let's check out the size. There's a little bit there, but nothing. Let's pull this down so you can, let's pull this down so you can see a little bit more there. The size I'm talking about. It's not huge. We took another bid at 8, but we're not heavy now. I've got it perfectly so that even if we get taken out here, it's a win is a win here on Palantir, and we'll put some money in the bank today from Palantir. So there it goes. There's the break, and there it is. There's the flush down. So where's flushing down the toilet? Bye-bye, Palantir. We'll look at another level later on, but we took a shot there, and I don't feel any ways about missing out on that one. So Palantir did just hit us to the downside there through 23. We'll look to get longer again. What's up, Veep?
Hey, Sean, a lot of people on the chat talk about AMC. Stock is down 4% so far. Do you see any opportunities for yourself in AMC today, guys?
So remember, AMC had that. Yeah, it's funny. I was just actually looking at AMC. That's hilarious that you brought that up. Yeah, exactly. AMC down today, and we haven't really traded it much. It's 33 million at all. 33 million shares. We did see that drop off early when they announced. Where was it? I don't even really see a drop. I guess it was right here. 8:53 or so, announcing the share buyback. But oh man.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, we're missing data here. So it's all the way down. So there was a big drop there. Let me call up AMC right here. Here's AMC on a little bit of that's a 20-minute chart. Forget it. Let me call up another. I have an e-signal platform here that I'm trying to look at because our charts are down. 1025, yeah, there's the drop. Like we mentioned, a 500 million share buyback. I believe that's what it was. Or 500 million shares or dollars value, not shares, dollar value down to 950. So that's a good little level here on a daily chart though for AMC. If we can call that up here. Let me have a quick look on this. The 50 period is down to 9, so we got really close to there last couple days. I think it's a buy near that area, guys. I think AMC is one of those rebuild stocks. We talked about that on the reopen. So I think fair value for AMC is actually right around here, 8 or 9. So for me, I'd wait to be a buyer at 8 and then get rid of it if it does dump below 7. But for right now, again, I apologize. Our charts aren't giving us the greatest news on this one, but I think you can go long through 985.
I'm gonna show you guys my 15-minute chart because I literally just canceled a bid on Fubo, and it was like, that's just pure luck, guys. Because right after I did so, I took 1 fill instead of 2. It flushes through 23 to my level all morning long. See how many times I've been long and taking profit, and then 23 breaks. I don't know that I love a level until you get to this like 22 to 22.30. So it would probably have to flush really far, or I mean, if it wants to come right back up here and I can take like an 05 or a 10 on the way back in, the problem with that is usually you're giving that to low of the day, which I don't love giving it to 70 on that kind of weakness. I'd probably have to go very, very tight stop on that trade. So if it gives a quick retrace back into, and the reason I say 10s is that was that pre-market low, guys. So if it gives me that long at 23.11, I'm probably not giving it much room past that 23 even, and certainly not to 22.70. I'd wait for 22.30 to 22 even is a much better entry point. Got to be patient with this Fubo. That was a hard top at that 24. I'm a little surprised that after getting that little round off, and that it wants to sell like this, that is not much of a bounce for a stock that has done what it's done, which means it might look to go sideways for a little bit off that price area. So be a little bit patient with Fubo TV. While all that was happening, that Funko, I should say, there you go. Funko, on the other hand, which that's my daily chart. Funko, on the other hand, came right back into that view up. So it didn't give me that 23.50. I don't want to give this one past 24. I still like that short up at that 25, and that was great, but that trade is come and gone. This is a new trade down below that 24 even. So just because I like the short in front of the 25 even doesn't mean I hold the entry point at 23.80 a dollar against me. No, it's a separate trade. It's a separate idea. I'm not giving that past 24. If it busts out, I might get another shot here at a lower consolidation on a lower high. So you make sure that you're not digging yourself a hole before the better trade does come. So that's the plan of action here in Funko. I'm not done with this one just yet, but this 23.80 trade, tight stop at that 20-cent mark at 24 even.
Like Palantir can really just, oh man, it happened again. We got out. I mean, we got back in, but whatever, man. Like we got out at 97. It ticks all the way down to 93. And now it's right back to, to being in the money for us because this is where we were buying, man. 08, 09. Well, no, we were actually long, first of all, at 15s and then 14s. You saw that. So, from a winner into a loser, that's how you put that into the pipe. And then I was watching it and I was just like, oh my God, the NASDAQ's retracing and I don't have any Palantir. So I just punched long right away. I marketed in basically and I got 08s or 09s. So now it's up to 18. It's a dime piece right now. Let's take a little bit more off and there it is again through 17 and 18. So a couple outs there. The fun begins now on Palantir. Will it drop back down? Maybe. And if it does, we'll get out then at this bottom and not worry about it as we've just taken some money back, put that in our pocket now. New trade alert, the one that we just come with there, Valeria. Thank you so much for that. AMC now is in the building. So we go long here. Let's just pretend that this chart fills all the way back up here and we can actually win on this one. But right now, AMC, and again, we've refreshed our data and everything, so we're gonna hopefully this can make some moves for us. We're long at 87 now as AMC goes straight to 90. So good little call there. Let's take a little piece off just so you can see the magic of our charts. You'll see a little red. There it is. Oh yeah, making the chart move. So there it is up to 90, 91 now. I think we take some more pieces off here if we can. 91, 90 again. We'll get out some 91s. Let's see if AMC can't retrace back upside right now. So a good little trade there for me on AMC.
I see that on my program monitor. That's going to look really, really cool if it fills in that. I mean, it's not really a gap, but it's going to look cool if it fills in that gap because it'll look like whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about here. Look, Funko is going to come down. I know I just talked about. And I do this all the time, where a trade's in the money or a trade's working well, and then I'll give you like why it could go against me or what I'm going to do if it's wrong. It's not saying that I don't like the trade. It's just more along the lines of if you're sitting there and comfortably in the money, or it hasn't hit your stop level, or you're loading in, you're working a price area, and you're making money. It's a lot easier to go over what the risk plan is at that moment because the rest of it is easy. It's sort of easier to take profit, especially when you have your levels determined. It just took some out here at that 23.30. So I get another 50-cent scalp on that. I still have bids in front of that low from the morning. So the turn on Funko has been twofold for me, both in front of the 25 failed break, and then again when it broke down at 23.80. I used 23.80 instead of 24 for this reason. Pull back at 23.80. A lot of breakout traders will kind of use that for a bit of a trailing stop. And then it was also a previous high. So that's why I like 23.80 for an entry price as opposed to 24 even. It's kind of splitting hairs. But when I use that 80, I get back in here and it doesn't really break 24. So that's the reason I like those levels. We try to give you and not just the trades that we're in, you guys can see them there, but the thought process that goes behind them. And I always feel like if you're going counter trend, which I know I tend to do a lot of times, you really have to have a plan of action. The plan of action on Coursera should have just been to buy the issue yesterday and hold on to it because I know there's a big data gap, and that looks even more impressive, guys, as stock is 21% to the upside. 39, I believe Brennan mentioned to us, 39 was what it opened at yesterday, and you're looking at $55. Impressive run for Coursera.
Yeah, big time. And some of the IPOs have been working. Remember, though, guys, like the IPOs work early and then fail late. Yeah. Let's check out Roblox, see what they're doing. Wow, they're hanging in there actually at 68. This IPO was 64 and change, so good one for Roblox. Mr. Wickens?
Yeah, I mentioned this one earlier, guys, but VLDR still going here. We just made another new day high through 1350 there. Look at the volume still coming in at day highs. So a heads up, 1350 looks like a bit of a level here. Now 17.5% for Velodyne.
Ooh, Velodyne. What are you guys saying about cost there? Cost on the halt. So look, I mean, is this halt? Is this news? I see you guys talking in the chat here. Cost, of course. The headphone maker. You're gonna see me live go to my trade halts here. That's a limit. It's a limit. It's a limit up down here. So it is a volatility halt. It's not news pending, but if we can figure out what's actually going on here in terms of the news, fantastic. We do have some time. It's going to open up in like 5 minutes or so. Remember, this is one of those meme stocks. It tends to follow GameStop at times, but if this is a little bit different. Yeah, what, Bluetooth headphones? That we guys Kung Fu Trading. Thank you very much for that. Actually, I jokingly said, before this went off, this whole meme thing, I had COS headphones at my trading station back on the bridge for at least a year, and they were like falling apart. I just threw them out actually, but they lasted a very long time, and had no idea that I even owned a pair of those. So anyways, COS on the halt should be open up in a couple of minutes here, guys. Either way, looks like there is news. Bluetooth headphones, whether or not that's big enough catalyst. It's usually been a very, very good fade on big pops. I'm looking at first. Like this 26.50 area, which is a little bit tight, only $1 from here. And then look at this top, guys, 27 even. So you know what I like to do? I'll play off that 50 to 70 area as long as there's any kind of turnaround there.
Yeah, and here we come, not for anything, but just that we're ready to go here on a AMC and Palantir. Palantir testing once again that 23 level. So if that comes ripping to the downside, we got to watch out for PLTR. And then AMC waiting as well to go. We've got some out at 89s and 90s. We're long 87, man. Like I don't know. The market doesn't want to do anything, it looks like right here. So we're going to have to wait on AMC to continue, hopefully to move to the upside. And then you saw us getting out of Palantir there around 20s, 18s, 19s. So on that move, and we're long here. Where are we long? We're long at 09. Guys, coming up, I mean, we're super excited. It's almost about that time. John Gardner, general manager, SoFi, guys. I mean, this is going to be a big one. Lots of stuff coming. Cool new tool regarding IPOs. Definitely want to check that out. That's coming up like in 10 minutes. So we're excited to that. Brendan's going to crush that interview. And then, guys, just get educated. That's all I can say. And then make the best choices you possibly can. It sounds like a super cool idea. I keep saying to myself, like, I wish I could get in pre-IPO, and maybe this is your opportunity. So we're going to find out more from that on with Brendan coming up very, very soon. Palantir, there's the shot. I just want to talk about this before I throw it back. Here's another shot. We're long at 02 now again. So average price 04. Let's just see what happens now as it looks like it wants to retest that bottom of 22.
Bank error in my favor.
Go ahead, 22.90. Go ahead.
Bank error in my favor, FTFT. I don't know what just happened. I'm going to, look, if they did an offering midday and I happen to be short off this level, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. I had bids out, so there's nothing I could do about getting filled at 70. Trust me, I would cancel these all day long if I saw that move happening in the 20s. I couldn't. I took some more shares out because I thought an impending halt was going to come with a 10% move down this fast. So I got some out at 7 even. I have a little bit left at 774. But as I always say, I don't like holding into a halt even in the money. I'll take some profit to the downside here. I don't know the reason for this because it happened too fast. It's entirely possible that they just did an offering. Intraday like this, I mean, it is what it is. We can comment on what we think about whether that makes sense or not. These should always be off market.
Brendan has something.
A big time move, Brendan?
Yeah, it is. Intraday offering, guys, for future fintech here. 35 million registered direct offering at the market. That's the key, guys.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it's not a problem. That's smart by them, right? I mean, when you get some good news and it's starting to go to the high side a little bit, you can get at that FTFT. So a good trade. AMC looking like it's going to test that 975. This is why we get out of some of these shares earlier, guys. It didn't rip as much as we thought through 880 or through 985. So we got some out quickly, and now it looks like AMC is going to test that bottom spot of 975 right now. So slippery slope here on AMC and Palantir as the NASDAQ right now, as my eyes are everywhere here, looking to go lower and break some of these levels here on the NQ. So watch out. Top side there looks like it doesn't want to hold. We could retest back down to 13,230, guys.
Yeah, and just I'm going to be covering on the reopen. I don't want to turn this into a discussion on what that's like for the middle here, because I know, look, if you're holding a long position here, and I've been saying all morning long that there was definite support at that 735 area. I was shorting into it and always taking profit in front of it. You're going to get that flush through, but ultimately it's a little bit different of a risk story. If you had this one and you were holding on to it from some of these earlier prices, maybe you had like a $5 and you might have had to stop trying to lock in that 25% or so, or 30%, and you had to stop for that 735, and that's out the window. Is it a long automatically? I don't know about that. I'm getting out on the reopen play no matter what. If it can hold the pre-market lows, like they closed at 620, so pre-market lows are at 640. That's not a horrible runway here, but I'd rather see come in, have the volume churn, maybe make a bit of a hard bottom before I would jump into any kind of a long position, but certainly worth the look here, FTFT on the reopen.
Okay, yeah, so far so good, guys. We're just going to wait. We do have that big interview coming up. We're really super excited about that one. And then my eyes are going everywhere right now. Let's check out if there's any Microsoft action down to 241 again here. This is the daily. It's stopping off right at that spot that we thought, 242 and change. That's a good high, man. 242 for Softy. That's a nice little level there. So if we can get back to that, especially if the NASDAQ wants to fail, then I do think that that's going to be a great short. But we also do have a long developing right now at 241.25. So again, let's park some orders. Let's just be smart. Let's try to be as responsible. Sometimes that's tough to do, but let's try to be as responsible as we can be here, just in case the NASDAQ does fall off. Remember, Good Friday tomorrow, no market, and the NASDAQ has rallied back quite nicely over the last little while. So, we could get a pullback, but if we're on the right names, then I don't think we should fear anything. So let's park an order, 241.24 or so here on Microsoft. Let's go with the big boys. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I'm nervous. I'm going to stick with the same rhetoric here that the NASDAQ is going to fall a little bit. So I'm going to wait for Microsoft to get back upside. I don't have any shorts. The only thing is here, this is the short that we smelled out, and I should have looking at this now, it's easy, but we sniffed this out here when it wasn't going. Like, remember, we tried, it wasn't going, failed. Should have shorted back up here at this VWAP. NEO today turning red, not turning red, but not much love for the long here on NIO today. So if you're caught in this name, I would say you still have a lot of room to the downside. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. If you're a long-term investor, I think you still have 34 in mind, but we are coming back into 39 right now. So watch out for NEO. If you believe in the market rebound, this could be one, but it's just been so weak, even into strength. Like, here's strength in NASDAQ, here's strength, and NEO does not give it back up. So be very, very careful there if you are a trader of NIO today. I don't know if there's going to be a bounce, and if there is, I might test it at 40, but I'm going to wait. I'm not going to try to play these dips, guys.
Yeah, and look, I mentioned Coursera to you guys, but and we said 39 was where it opened up yesterday. But let's keep in mind, the issue price was 33. So I said 39. Hey, you got yourself a nice return if you were selling at 55 because there's like your 40% move there. Correction. You could have had a bigger move than that if you got that 33. Nice little move to the top end there. And the only reason I say that is because our guest is going to talk about being able to get that issue price for a lot of investors that have been wanting it for a very, very long time. So that's all I can say about that. While the nonsense on FTFT was happening, this is pie in my look. I said bank error in my favor when that thing flushed. I just finished saying cost when it reopens. Watch out, 26.50 to 27 even. This is the top. It's 26.90. Now, while it was, the reason I was distracted is great. FTFT plunged and I was short it. But this is like, that's as good as it's going to get here, guys. We always try to go to that higher time frame, identify what we like, give you the thought process. But there was the flush in cost right through at that 27. Always make sure you're looking at multiple time frames to see where some of these levels might be. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but the time that it gives you a trade like that, here on cost, showed you MVIS when we were doing our preparation because it was the same thing on the Microsoft news yesterday. Sometimes those are your fantastic opportunities, both to short, but also if you're in the long, where is a good place to get out? Go to that time frame, guys.
All right, and to take one of your sayings here, we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth on Palantir.
Do it.
Not now, not today. The market trying to stay upside and Palantir trying to hold this bottom. So we were actually a little disciplined there. We put our stop order out and we don't have to worry about it because it is at this level. So thank God it didn't tick us out. So we did take that opportunity to get some out on the high side. I just don't believe in the long anymore. And you guys got to switch up your opinions sometimes on stocks. And if that's what's going to happen, the NASDAQ's up. We talked about Palantir today at 24. That was going to be, our level. We talked about that. Will it hold 24? It doesn't. And then now it doesn't even look like it wants to hold 23. So let's wait to see, though. It's staying upside right now. But unless this NASDAQ really takes off, I don't know. Like, it's almost better to trade the market rather than trade Palantir at this point, just because if this goes, you're going to get well rewarded trading something like the triple Qs, which is down here on the NASDAQ. So, this may be a buying opportunity right here on the low side for the triple Qs right now. But I would much rather put my money into this rather than believe that Palantir can magically just start ripping upside. So unless there's some news stories, let's get this out. If we're lucky enough to get them out at like 23.10, look, you got to preach discipline. And I think that if you haven't learned that from our show, it's not all about YOLOing and going nuts, right? Be smart about your trades. Take the right ones, put the money, into the opportunity and just trade it appropriately. With that being said, guys, we've been very, very excited about this and it's coming up now. So it's our guest of the day with Brendan. Take it away, big guy.
All right, thanks, guys. Online finance startup SoFi has launched a brand new service and feature on their platform that will allow retail investors to invest in initial public offerings before they come to market. John Gardner is general manager of SoFi and joins us on the show. Great to have you on the show, John. We appreciate your time and appreciate you doing this. Let's start with a general overview here, maybe of the platform. A lot of people may be unfamiliar, or if anyone is unfamiliar with the platform, give them a look at SoFi and what sets SoFi apart from its competition.
Sure. Great to meet you, Brendan. So for those that are unfamiliar, SoFi is an online personal finance platform, and we help people do a bunch of things. We help them borrow, save, spend, invest, and protect their money. And our goal really is to just help people achieve financial independence to realize their ambitions. We currently have north of 1.8 million members that have our products, and we give them all the financial tools that they need all in one place on our mobile app to achieve their financial independence. And just some examples of some of the products that we do. We help people refinance existing debt. We help them get mortgages with no fees. We help them save, spend, and invest money all in one place. It's particularly for our investing platform. We have multiple products. So we started out as a robo or auto investing platform. From there, we grew into active investing, so commission-free ETFs and stocks. We also offer fractional share trading on the platform, and then more recently, we launched crypto as well. In addition to that, we were first to market with zero-fee ETFs to give our members exposure to sort of broad-based domestic equity exposure. And more recently, we launched a couple of more thematic ETFs, one called the GIGI, which reflects sort of investing in the gig economy, which is the companies that our investors typically work with. And then more recently, we launched the SoFi Social 50, which is representative of the top 50 holdings of our members on the SoFi Active Investing platform.
All right, so historically, let's break this down a little bit and figure out how this is actually going to work. Everybody understands historically IPOs have been set aside for institutions. They've been set aside for high net worth individuals. The normal retail investor has never had the ability until now to take part in initial public offerings before they come to market. So tell us how this service is going to work, first of all, and really what it means to the company to be the first out of the gate for this.
Yeah, so we're committed to leveling access to investing for all, and what we wanted to do is basically open up access to investments that have traditionally only been available to institutional or ultra high net worth investors. So we've been fortunate to be able to go to market and develop relationships with underwriters and companies that are planned to become public to develop access to those investments before they list on the exchanges. So we've just launched an IPO investing platform that we announced last Friday that's accessible for any of our SoFi members. And you can just go on it and whatever, and as we have deals in market, you can just click on them, learn about them from the prospectus, and then decide whether or not you want to make an indication of interest to participate in the deal. And then when the window opens to actually make to make an investment, you can put an offer in, and then based on our allocation, we'll try to fulfill the exposure for all of our investors.
All right, so let's give everyone a little bit of a timeline here when it comes to being able to actually use this service. No equities or no securities are available on the platform as of yet. Tell everyone when they are going to have access to utilize this service first, and also what's the criteria that the company's using to select which IPOs are going to be made available.
Sure. So we expect to see the first suite of investments become available in the next several weeks, and we have a robust sort of process by which we look at potential investment opportunities to list on the platform. So there's the rigorous evaluation process that we have, and obviously there's a fiduciary standard that we have to make sure that we're comfortable with the offerings that we're bringing to bear. We're very fortunate. We've got an extremely seasoned executive leadership team who both have deep investment banking backgrounds as well as taking companies public that we can lean on to sort of evaluate the deals that we want to bring to our investors.
So when it comes to the actual criteria, let's talk a little bit more about that. John Gardner, General Manager of SoFi, joining us today. When it comes to the client side of things, let's talk about criteria. What does a client need to have as far as an account set up, as far as account minimums, if there are any, to be able to have access to this?
Yeah, so the only two requirements are, first, you have to have an active investing account, which is a brokerage account on SoFi. Secondly, across the three different types of investment products that we have, so active, auto, and crypto investing, you have to have a minimum of $3,000 that's settled cash on the platform to invest.
And from the company's standpoint here, if we're talking about, you mentioned a lot of services that SoFi has made available. Where does this land when it comes to the portfolio? Where does the company see this landing within the portfolio? What does that actually mean to SoFi?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, we want to create as much selection and choice for our members as possible to invest, to help them realize their financial independence. And our view is access to IPOs or primary offerings is just another tool in the kit that they can bring to market. And our view is that, we really want to reinforce long-term investing and good behavior and habits for our investors. So, we think that this fits as a component piece to a broader diversified strategy in our members' portfolios.
John Gardner's general manager of SoFi. Guys, if you want more information, go to SoFi.com. Valeria has the link in the chat if you're looking for it. John Gardner, a pleasure. We look forward to an update in the future.
Thanks. Great chatting with you, Brendan.
There you go, guys. A look at a brand new feature from SoFi. It's exciting. We can have access to IPOs before they even come to market. Again, go to SoFi.com or check out the link that Valeria has for you in the chat, guys.
Yeah, exactly, Brendan. We showed, look, I showed you that chart, of course, Sarah, certainly. And look, it's all well and good to get 39, and then 33 was the actual issue. But there's more extreme examples than that, and you can list off a million of those. And I think we all understand them and how they work out. So, making the markets a little bit more fair, I say, which is a good look. And speaking of making the markets a little bit more fair, I mean, FTFT, of course, and look, mid-trade had the offering. I said I would get on the last of the shares no matter where it reopened, so I do take it out at 72 when I'm short at 770. Obviously, I could have held down towards that pre-market low. Yesterday's close, 620, which I mentioned to you guys. I have a long off of that 620. Tried to break 620, came down 615 bottom. I catch it on the way back up, so I'm long at 25s off of that new fresh low at 615. So risk 10 cents in slippage to try and see if we can't get any pushback. So I obviously could have held a short, but it's one of the rules that I kind of always have here when I'm into a halt trade, unless I have a really, really strong belief that it's going to go even lower. I don't look at that gift horse in the mouth when I don't have to, guys. But FTFT on a bit of a bounce. If it comes up to like 40s and 50s, I'll definitely start taking some shares off here because ultimately dilution is not a good thing. The stock does have some runway, potentially on a break to go even further to the downside. I am aware of that, guys. But if it can come back, there's no way I hold it through the halt level at 680. At that point, if it's a 10% bounce, it'd be fantastic. I'm not looking for anything more than that. And I would certainly take at least half off in front of 650.
Brendan.
Guys, a few more minutes to go. I want to show you this before we go too much further. That is definitely not what we should have seen, but wanted to mention the Q&A, guys, the 4 members Q&A coming up Monday after the show. Make sure you join us for the members-only Q&A after the show, guys.
That was a good FTFT chart, though. I like that one. That was looking good there on the downside. So is Microsoft on the upside there. Palantir could... Basically, we've tried it. It hits that bottom. It actually flushes to 81. So I'm pretty happy with the Palantir. However, the last half hour, as you guys know, has been a downward move for the stock. So now we're going to look to short it. If Palantir can ever get, I'm looking at these levels again here, 23 and change, maybe even where I got out, 23.10 on a possible short back to the downside of PLTR. So we're going to wait for that one to see if that does anything. And then look at the stock just continues to go down. Before we went to that break there, NEO was like, 39.70, 30, and change right around here. We were talking about a 40 break. Maybe we'd get excited about it. But it does go down to 39, and I don't want to discount going long at some point here on NEO. We're touching this level, $39. That's the 20 period or 50 period moving average on a 20-minute chart. So I do like that opportunity now to possibly take a stab, man, at this level. So 39 it came and gone. The low of the day, did it actually crack through? No, it didn't. So 39.25 or so, the low of the day. Look, I'm going to give this my blessing now, and by putting my money where my mouth is as well, and going long this name. I like to see it fall back in just a little bit. Like if we can get long here, like 34, 35, something like that, and then average into it, sure, it'll be a loser if it breaks. But now I know at least as we go back to a longer term time frame here that we do have some support at 39 here on NIO. So it's fallen a lot today, even though we're still up that 1.4%. Look at the week it's had. So like Monday, $34, back up to 42 today. So that's a big run, man. That's like 25% up. So, profit taking doesn't surprise me one bit on NIO, but I think maybe it's time to get greedy and see if we can't catch along.
Yeah, and maybe I should have got a little bit greedier. As watch out, FTFT can't seem to hold a bid. That bottom, that fresh low could get taken out here, guys. So I might take the 10 penny hit. If I got greedy on Funko, it would have worked out nicely here, but I did take the last of that out while we're just in the interview at 22.60. So just a bit of a brief update there. It is taking out fresh lows, and again, one of the things I was mentioning is that sometimes those top breaks, and we went. And the first thing we said when someone asked about, the first thing I said when we asked about Funko was just have a look at this top, that 25 even. Failed breakouts sometimes cause the biggest pullbacks, and pulling all the way back into some pre-market levels here at 21.20. I kind of wish I had held on to the trade, but I did have a target out in front of this little dip, double dip buy, because it was a buy at 10 o'clock, and then it was also a buy at 9:30, guys. So either way, we're all about educating you guys. And speaking of which, I know we said it once. I think we even said it twice, but let's say even a third time. We appreciate all of our members, 100%. So thank you guys, everyone who signed up, especially even today. And we have the new things coming next week on Tuesday. We're going to be going on that afternoon trade, 3:15 to 4 o'clock. But we're sticking with our members Q&A. Ask us all the questions you want. We'll be on here. This time it's Arun's turn. I don't know if he'll have the new shirt on. It might have been just an April Fool's thing, but he'll be back on Monday for our members Q&A. Jump in, ask your questions, get there early. We'll get through as many of them as we can, as we always try to do for you guys. That's what it's all about. Oh, you kidding me, FTFT? This thing cannot hold a bid. So it is what it is. I took my shot at this one for the long trade. I don't know if I'll try that again. Brendo?
All right, a couple minutes left. There are a few earnings, but nothing terribly exciting to get to today. But let's talk a little bit about what we learned today, and the big one. Yeah, we're coming back in the afternoon, guys. A brand new afternoon show coming your way every single day, starting on Tuesday. So mark it down in your calendars. Make sure you join us every single day. We're going to walk you through the last hour of trading in the day. We'll talk about closing imbalances. We'll talk about how the closing imbalances work, how the market structure sets up going into the close. There's lots to learn. There's lots to discuss. Join us every single day at 3:15, guys. I am looking forward to that.
All right, yeah, well, that makes all of us, I think, we're very, very excited to be bringing that. And thank you, Brendan, for bringing it up one more time. And again, we're off tomorrow, guys. So sorry about that, but family comes first. It's Easter, and we will be celebrating that, with our loved ones. I hope you guys will be as well. Not that we don't love the market. We can't do this job if we don't love the market, but let's show some love as well to that. I'm going to say my anniversary is tomorrow, but happy anniversary to my wife. Thank you for putting up with me for all these years. Many more to come. Yeah, we're excited. We're picking up our kid from university today as well, so that's going to be a good one. And yeah, the whole crew's coming back together. But as Ontario, and it's just sad, but we continue to get locked down, and you can only spend time with your immediate family. It's just crazy. Those of you here in Canada know what's going on here. Our numbers aren't even that bad. It's a super conservative. Like, we had 2,000 cases yesterday in Ontario, and I think it's like 12 million people or something. So it's not an unbelievable amount, but it's enough to warrant concern. So stay safe to everybody. Follow us on Twitter. We'll be tweeting all weekend if we've seen anything cool in the marketplace or anything like that. So make sure you continue to follow us. It's been a fantastic day. We only have a minute left. The market was wild in the morning, man. Just to recap, like, my biggest trade today, Microsoft is now, because we did give some back on Palantir. We gave some back on Micron. This is still my number one trade. We hit that early. That was a good one. Micron, missed opportunity, I think, for everybody right here, as 92.50 continues to hold. So if we were doing some kind of a lunch money trade, which we haven't done in the last little while, but I like a 92.50 hold here on Micron, and then possibly breaking through VWAP at 93. So Micron is one to watch here on a positive note, especially if the NASDAQ gets going. That's my 2 cents. Have a good one, everybody.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say this. I mentioned U.S. Steel, sort of there's this level here, this 24.75 previous top. Basing out, I think it's a good place to maybe pick some shares up if you've never gotten into the name anyways, but I actually like a 75 break with the low end at 24.50 as a bit of an out. It's an important day, of course, because there's plenty of action, and we've had a lot to give to you guys. I want to say happy anniversary, Sean. 10 years is a big one. You cannot take that lightly. It's an important thing, and family, nothing is more important than family. It's another day as well, so I think it's not likely to be a surprise.
Someone, sorry, Neil, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just saw the same guy. I talked about PSFE today. Someone gave a super chat and I completely forgot about it. So sorry about this, but I just got to do this quickly because I won't be able to live with myself if I don't. No, that's just a joke. Okay, PSFE turns from BFT yesterday over to PSFE. And I just want to say, it's a snooze fest, so not much is happening right now. It's up that 4%. It does dump down yesterday. We talked about that can happen to the symbols as we go. BFT was hovering around 15 for a very long time, so I expect this thing to get to 15, and then we'll start seeing some jump. But look, I'm still a big supporter of this. I've been buying PSFE and BFT all the way down, and hopefully this one can go. I still have good thoughts about this. Someone said, why do we think it? I mean, it's in the right space. It's a fintech name and it's brand new. Let's just see if it can get its name out there a little bit more. They're into gambling and into that kind of stuff. So I just had to interrupt there because someone asked on the chat. And look, I can't say that we're going to be for the people if we don't get to those super chats. So PSFE, that's my talk. I'm still a buyer of this. I have a lot of shares, so I don't know if I'm going to be still a buyer, but I'm going to be patiently waiting. I still think this takes a couple months. We got to wait for the first report to make sure it's solid.
Absolutely. Like I said, this is not good. That's more important because you guys all know what today is. But Miss V, you got a nice graphic for it. Let's see what national date is.
Hey guys, that was a best Thursday ever. Thank you very much for all the super chats, all kind words and likes. We are so happy to see that you're glad that we are doing a noon show starting Tuesday. Well, have a great long weekend. We miss you already. We'll see you on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And happy National Fool's Day, everyone.
There we
April
go.
Fools. And there you go.
But that might not be a joke. I mean, I don't know. Is there aliens around? Let's.
Area 51. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a huge. You know who we have? We used to have a conspiracy guy on the floor, so maybe we'll ask him what he thinks about the UFO.
I already know what he thinks.
I know what he thinks. He believes in every single hoax. Whatever. I'm not going to get into some of it. We love you, buddy. The potatoes are definitely out in full force and got burned today.
Hater.
No, it's potato. So anyways, if you hear us say potato, it's just a term for slow money in the markets every now and then. It's been a fun show. We've had a lot of fun talking to you guys. We cannot wait for next week. A couple of things, of course, that Q&A. And remember, on Tuesday, 3:15 to 4 o'clock, we're coming back in the afternoons for you all. Down the line, Miss V didn't need the green for us to go up today.
Nope.
Sean Cantina in the merch.
Yep.
Brendan Wickens, my good friend. I don't know how you're wearing a sweater in here. It's kind of warm. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you next week. Happy Easter. Happy anniversary, buddy.